Today, Tuesday, June 23rd, join us for the Pro Hoops Draft Show on the FDH Lounge as we cover a very consequential night. FDH Hoops analyst Ben Chu joins us from his perch in Portland to break it all down in what might be the last draft of the tanking era. And we welcome back an old friend from the Sports Talk Network days, Don Peterson from Club Pizzle and Peterson Media. Join us live for the 2026 Pro Hoops Draft Night 1 Extravaganza on the FDH Lounge. And folks, that majestic classic CBS sports music can mean only one thing. It's draft night. Rick Morris, Ben Chu, Don Peterson here in the FDH Lounge. We got it all going at your way through the entirety of round one. We will be breaking it down here tonight. We may have some pop-ins here as well. And so it's going to be a lot of fun to be able to get to. And first time that I have been on the same side of the microphones with Don P in quite a long time, as has been the case with Ben. So Don, great to have you in, my friend. I always talk about this about folks that were FDH Lounge dignitaries before there were dignitaries, and that's you. I was doing stuff with you at the Sports Talk Network days, even before this show came on the air in 2007. So truly a delight to get you on here tonight. Ben Chu said to me a couple of months ago, we got to get a third man in the booth for this one here. Boy, did we ever. Great to have you in, my friend.
I greatly appreciate you guys for having me here, man. I've been so excited to be here and to get on here and talk with you guys and talk some hoop.
It's going to be amazing. And there are, of course, some big trades, big transactions that have happened this week, the big coaching move in Dallas, a couple of different things that we need to be able to get to here. What I want to get to first here, just to get this on the board here, got a couple of things here. I'm going to be doing this on an hourly basis here. So getting to the notion of the folks sponsoring the segments here for the show tonight. So for hour one, we start with Sportsology. Sportsology is a new media pioneer, having presented news, reviews, and analysis across the sports world for over a quarter century. 12-time author Russ Cohen is the proprietor of the website that has worked the closest with the FDH Lounge over the years, and he and the entire staff are constantly devoted to producing only the best content, both written and broadcast. Find them on the web at sportsology.com. Next up, of course, Peterson Media. Club Pizzle is the flagship video podcast for Peterson Media. Proprietor Don Peterson is an old friend and associate of ours from the Sports Talk Network in the 2000s, and his background covering sports goes even further back than then. You will get a fair number of takes about his beloved Cleveland sports teams, and some of them are off the grill spicy. Tune in each week to find out what's up with what's the dizzle in Club Pizzle. Find them on the web at youtube.com/Peterson Media 216, and that's Peterson with a T. So we have that one here as well. The other two for the first hour, NHL Draft Buzz. Tonight we're bringing you the utmost in NHL draft coverage, but we've got the NHL entry draft coming up in late June, and there's only one place you need to go to keep up on everything you need to know. NHL Draft Buzz from Russ Cohen and the great minds that brought you Sportsology. NHL Draft Buzz builds upon Sportsology's tradition of creating unmatched NHL entry draft coverage since the early 2000s. Find them on the web at nhldraftbuzz.com. And, of course, also, everybody should have this book here. The Top 75 Players in Pro Basketball History provides a respectful contrast to the NBA's official Top 75 player ranking with biographical information and fun stories about the players, points of comparison between top players, year-by-year rankings of the top players in the NBA and ABA, fictional Olympic dream teams for the years prior to 1992, and much, much more. The top 75 players in pro basketball history available on Amazon.com. So, all right, we have those out the way here for the top of the show. And, gentlemen, it's been quite a week already in the NBA. Of course, you've got the move of which, again, I just purely on a spiteful level, love to see Michigan losing their basketball coach as Dusty May goes to Dallas. That may rip our mock drafts asunder here a bit because I don't believe either one of us had anybody from any of the three Michigan guys going there. So there's a chance that it might impact there. But I'll start with you, Don. The sense that everybody has, and I think that this is true too, that like his ability with coaching, reaching people on a human level. He's apparently got a very high emotional IQ and just program building, culture building, that it will translate well to what they're doing in Dallas. And with the very excellent front office that is now in place there, replacing Nico Harrison. So
excellent.
I mean, Masai did a heck of a job in Toronto. I mean, I'll say that the ownership still sucks. It's still Miriam Adelson and all of the flunkies in her family. So I'll separate the ownership here. But when you look at the combination of head of the basketball operations and Dusty May, I mean, to me, it seems like a good combo. What do you think?
Yeah, it does seem like a good combination, and we're going to find out soon enough. I mean, they do have a piece to build around in Cooper Flagg. You also have Kyrie Irving coming back from his injury, and we're going to see what this team looks like coming out of the draft and going into free agency next week.
We're going to. Ben, your thoughts on this? It was something that really took a lot of people by surprise. And, of course, maybe it shouldn't have. Last program to lose a head coach to the NBA, famously. Michigan, John Beilein.
Dusty May he was, prior to that scenario, someone who was very focused in this timeline. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Like, he was a guy that was on a lot of people's radars.
Yes.
So I would also say, too, though, it's like, at least with this draft, though, it's like, I know Dallas, there may be some trade ups, some trade downs. So we do not know fully what that scenario is going to be, but it's going to be very interesting to see how they're going to determine their draft.
And as far as trades, when we get to, I guess it'll be the 13th pick in the first round, that will be, of course, transiting to Milwaukee as part of the Giannis trade that ended up going down. We'll be talking about that a decent amount. The Julius Randle deal to the Nets that I will say, Ben, I'll throw this to you, Don, because Ben and I both, we were texting about to say we were a little bit confused on that one. Like, obviously Minnesota wants to clear out enough space to re-sign Ayo, and they feel like they're ready to, I guess, to go with the other young guys in the front court. But that's, you gain cap space, but what are you going to be able to do with it necessarily? Yeah. Like, I'm scratching my head a bit from Minnesota's point of view. What did you think when you saw that?
Well, when I saw that too, I was fully expecting to be like, oh, Nick Claxton's going to go to Minnesota, right?
Even that wouldn't.
That's what I thought logically, but
what do
they're trying to clear cap space. They want to sign Ayo to a long-term contract, but I do want to ask Don Pease, like, what do you think about Randall going to Brooklyn in this time?
I feel like it should be an over/under on who's gonna be fighting for the ball with him and Porter, because neither one of those guys like passing the ball. And as a guy, I like Julius Randle as a player, but this move, I was confused, and then I thought about it on Minnesota's end. Naz Reid is moving into the starting lineup. He has to at this point.
Okay.
Well, they're trying to save cap space. That's what my assessment.
Mm-hmm. And it was a cap move, and they did sign the Samu to an extension.
That's right. That happened already. That's right. Yeah.
They did make that move. Yeah. They made that move.
That didn't take long. That's right. That happened today. So, yeah, I mean, they solidified themselves at that spot. We'll be talking, of course, much more as we go along, specifically, I think, the Giannis thing. And as we're getting a little bit closer to when Milwaukee is going to be on the clock with their picks, that will be in a while from now, because we are nearing, I guess, best as I can tell, looks like from the TV coverage here, which by the way, certainly we're inviting the entire world to use TV as a second screen experience as we are. Make us your major domo. Yeah.
Please and thank you.
Yeah.
Please and thank you.
Yes. Elevate us to main screen experience here tonight. TV can be second screen as it is for us. I saw the clock expire like a couple of minutes ago here, so I was trying to pace myself. Okay, well that they are saying
the pick is in
for Washington right now. So.
Is it one of those things where they just want to give the talking heads at the desk a little longer to yap?
Yes,
like, oh,
this is television production here.
All this made for TV crap. Like, I don't know. There's not really anybody on that panel that I'm necessarily dying to hear from. Anyways, I've never been a Jay Billis guy because I loathe Duke. Bobby.
Oh, Marks, come on, Rick.
if Bobby Marks were as smart as he thought he was, he would have invented cold fusion by now. So just like that.
That's a good time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that panel
is just, the podium. Just so you guys know, the podium is coming soon.
Yeah. All right. Well,
if it isn't the Bancia, I will be very shocked.
I think so too, and that was, Don and I agreed on it on our mock drafts. It's interesting. So our mock drafts actually converged on, because Don hadn't seen mine when he made his out. I had his, but I didn't look at it when I did mine, and I looked at his after mine. I'm like, oh, okay, we didn't really differ until I think it was 8 actually. So we had all the same picks. I think going up to, I had Atlanta taking Burries and. Don had Atlanta taking Brown, and the irony is, I think they should take Brown. But I was just seeing enough stuff. I was seeing enough stuff that said they were going to take Burries, and here we go. AJ DeBanza, first pick.
Yep.
And there are a lot of folks flinging themselves off of cliffs in Utah right about now. A good thing the cliffs aren't that high necessarily. I don't think that's.
I do want to ask this question though, just to the rest of the groups. Like, obviously, you have Trey, you have AD right now, and then you also have a lot of the additional guys like Krayshawn George, Sark. Is this the best move for them, though?
I think so. I mean,
I think so, too.
Yeah, I think he's got the highest ceiling. I think Peterson is not far behind. I'm not as concerned about, as I've said before, I think the medical issues will take care of themselves. I thought your question was going to be around why is the guy wearing the kind of burnout chain that you see on janitors, except he doesn't have it down by his pockets. He's got it up on his suit there. But a sharply dressed young man here for the occasion. He seems to be very happy with where he's going. And yeah, it's.
I mean, the Wizards next year is going to be a very interesting team.
They're going to be, and they're due for it. And it's one of those things where, their fans have been through an awful lot. I don't think they've even been to a conference finals in 50 years. So, I mean, good for them.
You know that feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. All too well being in Cleveland here. And as they're showing the highlights on the TV here, yeah, I mean, this is a guy
this kid was amazing, though. He was amazing.
Yeah. And still, I mean, and here's what's frightening is that, like, he's not exactly at this point what you'd consider to be like knockdown on the threes. He's pretty good, but he's not great. You figure he's only going to improve on that. I mean, how scary is he going to be when that develops? So,
I just think the bigger question for him is within this roster construction. We don't know.
Well, but here's the thing, though. When you're first in the draft, and I'm not talking like 2 years ago when it was like, well, I guess somebody has to go first. No, this is a legit number one in the draft player.
Yeah.
Like, the whole thing's built around you. So if anybody's going to be going, it'll be some of the other pieces around him. They end up the amount that they signed Trae Young for at this point. Like, I guess they're not looking at the De'Aaron Fox thing in San Antonio and taking any kind of harsh lesson from that, because.
My bigger question
is wish they could have that one back.
Like,
I think they would too.
Who is the Bancia gonna, as a starter? Who's he gonna play? Is it small forward? Is it power forward? I don't know.
Well, I think it'll be a small forward.
Probably. But it's a thing where
at his weight, he's gonna play small forward.
Yeah, probably, and then he'll move to power forward in the years to come. That will mean that they won't necessarily have to go with AD at center, because I don't know what his present stance is on it, but historically he has not wanted to play center as much. And
that's something I don't understand or never understood with him.
Yeah.
Like, in today's NBA, I don't get it.
I don't either. Like I think he always cited the physical toll of it. I think that's what he was talking about. But you're right. There's a lot of centers that, particularly if you can hit outside shots, you can play as a stretch five. And I think he has kind of softened on that a bit over the years. And trust me, if it's a circus, like if they're determined to play DeBanza at the 4, Davis will be playing the 5.
You're going to play the center, buddy.
Yes,
definitely going to be playing center.
Yeah.
I just feel like, too, just in terms of the totality of it, it's like, look, they have a lot of good players in Washington right now.
Mm-hmm.
They've been terrible in the last 2 to 3 seasons, but
okay,
they got guys.
I saw it in person. I know. Too. I said, "Ooh, this is a bad team."
Yeah.
This is before the Trey Young and before the Anthony Davis deal. It's like, ooh, this is a bad team.
Of
It was
the
one of those games.
of the two ladies seated next to him for the interview, and again, I can't tell with the sound being off. Was one of those two his mom?
I think it was his mom and his sister.
Oh, okay.
Or mom and girlfriend. Well, girlfriend.
Mom, very impressive. I'm getting flashbacks to Christian McCaffrey's mom on draft night. So
watching these drafts now and seeing the parents sit up there, it makes me realize like these guys that are being drafted could be my kid.
Yeah.
Like like these people are my age. These parents.
You reach that point, Don. It gets more than a little depressing.
Yes.
You start comparing your age to their age.
Oh, I say it gets weird.
Trust me. Listen, I also have grandkids. One of my grandbabies just turned 1 today.
Oh, okay.
He's
happy
1 year
birthday,
old. Yes. So happy birthday to my grandbaby.
Okay. Excellent.
I'll say to Rick is like, it's going to be really interesting where the Bancia is going to be in the rotation for next season. It's going to be really interesting.
I would agree. And he's a guy, I mean, I think that they're going to look at him as far as being a guy who, they can just, plug and play at probably, 2 different positions here. I don't think they figure that he needs a ton of time to basically, I don't think he's going to be sitting.
Because they have Alex Sarr already. So they have
they do.
Guy.
They
as long
do.
As Davis doesn't get traded in this timeline. So we don't know.
Well, the present CBS depth chart, and I always find theirs to be some of the best ones in the business, regardless of sport. So they've got him at center, they got AD at power forward, and you got Bilal there at small forward. So that's the obvious hole where you can stick somebody. No offense, to the
I love
kid.
Bilal. He's a great player, but yeah, you're not getting there. That's Will Riley.
One of these is not like the others, though.
And there it is. The pick is in, y'all.
And that's where, and again, Don and I were talking about this.
I like this here. I really like it.
Yes.
Yep.
And we talked about this off air a little bit last night, Don, that it's a thing where, like, I mean, him and Bailey as your swingman.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
the more you need to re-rack now. It's like, so Darren Peterson did get picked by Utah, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
That's a moment right there, man. I don't know if that's his dad, his uncle, whoever that is crying. Like, that's a moment right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It
I
is.
love watching. I love watching stuff like this.
Yeah.
Just these feel-good stories. These kids come from wherever they come from, and they have a dream, and there it is. Go ahead and cry, boy.
Who was the Mr. Miyagi-looking guy that he was hugging there?
I was just about to say
who that was.
I was going to call him Mr. Fuji.
Right now, I do want to ask us, like, what is your
throwing the salt? Throwing the salt.
I want to ask your thoughts on overall with Peterson right now.
What do you think, Don?
What are your thoughts? Because he was number 1 coming for a long time now.
The first time I saw this dude play, I thought he could be the first pick in the draft. And then all of the stuff with the injuries and him sitting out, it was confusing.
Sure.
Seeing it, and it was wondering, it's like, okay, dude just scored 25 points and a half. Why is he not in the game?
Yeah.
It was making you wonder, like, is him and the coach beefing? And then it comes out that he has these, what was it, cramps or whatever he had.
Yeah.
And then he did say what the issue was.
Use of creatine.
And that's something they'll fix that.
Yeah. That's what I
honestly
said.
It might be fixed, though. It might already be fixed.
Like, if he reaches his level, he could be the best player in the draft.
Oh, he absolutely could be. And Don, and this is something we discussed on the show previously, is that something that nobody talks about anymore. A similar concern a couple of years back. Remember Boncaro at Duke when he couldn't hydrate? Duke was losing all that weight in the game. Like, they were wondering. Yeah. So it's like, you reach this level, the sports science that's involved in it, a lot of times, you can make these things go away. So I don't think it should be a consideration for anybody. I don't think it was for Washington. I think Washington just thought that Debanzo was the best fit. And I know that Utah, they had their hearts set on him, but man, they got a hell of a
They
player.
got one.
They got one. Now, here's the thing, Don. Like, I don't, and I asked Ben about this, I think, previously. I don't think he got it either. I was seeing like a player comp on him, and the player comp I was seeing was Ray Allen. And it's like, no offense to Ray Allen, but I mean, I think he's more athletic than Ray Allen. And I think as great as Allen was, he was a Hall of Famer. I think Peterson even has a slightly higher ceiling. So what do you think?
Which version of Ray Allen are we talking about? Are we talking about young Milwaukee and Seattle Ray Allen, or
probably.
A younger Ray Allen? I can see it. Not as smooth, because Ray is one of the smoothest I've ever seen. But I can see that.
A different person at that time.
Yeah.
He's a different dude.
Yeah, and his ability to just be instant offense from anywhere on the floor. And again, and this is what they're doing here now. Like and as I've talked about, I think with both you guys off air, my guess is they probably move Markkanen, because I think he doesn't fit in on the timeline of this team anymore. But I mean, otherwise, you're looking at one of these guys being the sixth man. You bring in Peterson. You had a starting five at the end of last year of George Bailey, Markkanen, Jackson Jr., and Kessler. I know Jackson Jr. barely played last year, but still, he'll be ready to go this year. So that's where, I mean,
a very interesting team in this time.
And that's
very interesting.
And then you have the whole Walker Kessler thing, which is going to be resolved. He's going to sign there. He's restricted.
He will.
Yep.
He can go wherever and get whatever, and Utah's going to match it. They'll be fools for not.
That's right.
And knowing Danny Ainge, he'll match it, and Danny Ainge will give him what he wants.
He'll match it. And although you and I were talking about this off air yesterday, like one of the harder things to kind of price out in today's NBA is when you got a five that's not really any threat as a floor spacer. What's that worth? I mean, you see like with a team like the Cavs, where Jared Allen can be, especially under circumstances, worth an awful lot. And Kessler, because of what he brings defensively, rim protection, whatever, much like, ironically, the last guy that was there, Gobert, he's probably worth an awful lot, but I don't blame them for having trouble finding a number, because if you put a gun to my head,
they have a number.
Yeah.
They have their number. Kessler's camp has their number. They'll meet in the middle, and he'll be in training camp. He'll be ready to go.
Yeah.
And also, too, Rick, we've seen Utah tank for a while now.
Yeah.
I think they're ready to make that move right now.
And don't they still have a bunch of picks? Don't they still have Minnesota's picks? Don't they still have Cleveland's picks?
Yeah.
Or did they move? And did they move some of those picks when they traded for Jackson?
They might have. Yeah, I think
they lost some.
They got some picks.
Second rounders. They're so good. They got a handful now. I'm just saying too. It's like everyone's like, okay, Utah's tanking, but like they have a lot of assets coming.
And that starting five I read you was really, really good. I'm calling it now. They're going to make a big leap next year. They might be top 6 in the West. No surprise. Here's a team that won't be top 6 in the West because they're
my guy right there, man.
Cameron Boozer goes third to Memphis. The whole thing of like some of the comps I'm seeing on him are weird too. Like and like
I heard somebody said Tim Duncan, because Draymond said Tim Duncan because his game isn't pretty. He just gives results. He wins everywhere. He stuffs the stat sheet. That's what. And I say, okay, well, the game is not flashy. He just gets it done.
And I can't believe
2010 coming in.
I can't believe that I'm going to put this kid over one of my favorite players of all time, especially when you go back 22 years to his dad double crossing a blind man. I had my fingers crossed, but I'm seeing comps to Kevin Love, and I'm like, I love Kevin Love, but I mean, come on, the ceiling's a lot higher. Like, I don't want to I really don't want to poor mouth Kevin Love, but I mean, the ceiling is a lot higher than Kevin Love. I mean, I get he's a stretch 4. I get it. Maybe Love's one of the first guys you think of, but that's another one, Don, where I'm not really, it feels like a lazy comp to me.
Yeah, it does. And looking at him and just watching him last year, he has an NBA body.
Yeah.
He just seems so much bigger than everybody else on the floor.
Mm-hmm. And that's That's going to
Look
be
at that
really
man.
interesting, like what he looks like as an alpha at the NBA level, because that's what he's going to be right off the bat in Memphis. I mean, even if they hang on to Morant, which I'm thinking they're not going to do, but I mean, it's still
I think at this point they don't have a choice. I don't think
right.
anybody's going to take him on his contract, the off the floor issues that he's had, and the injuries on top of that. And I'm a John Morant fan. Like, I support that guy. I love his game. But when you make the bed, you're gonna lie in it.
Yeah.
You gotta, like, it's frustrating to see, like, as good as he is, the stuff that he got himself into. And then
Yeah.
on top of that, the injuries.
Own worst enemy when it comes to a lot of stuff. And like I was hearing today, team that could very well be in the mix for him because they know that they need more pieces around their new acquisition and they don't have many places that they can go. If Miami could make it fit salary wise, they'd swallow it, I think.
Well, I say too, Rick, I don't think that's likely.
Okay.
I've been thinking about what Miami can do with their roster. Yeah. They emptied all the assets to get Giannis.
Right.
They don't have a lot of cap room. They're gonna lose Norman Powell.
Yeah.
There's a chance
that
that
uses narrative too. It's like it's not this year, it's next year.
It's next year. Yep.
Right.
That's
They're
exactly
going to have
what
a
it is.
lot of cap space in that time.
My thought is though that Memphis, this is predicated on Memphis having to sell low on Morant. I don't think they're not going to be selling high on him, certainly. So that's, we'll have to see how that ends up playing out. But yeah, this is going to be fascinating to see how he fits in Memphis. And again, it will all be built around him here at this point. And it's a thing where he's going to have a guy that is going to be one of his complementary pieces there in Memphis. One of my favorite players in last year's draft not necessarily for the ceiling, but like said Coward, that guy is just, I look at him, that's going to be a smooth, steady core contributor for a long time. Yeah. Like I love the kid's story. Like how many of these guys make it from like JUCO to mid-major to whatever, to like, he's just gotten it done at every level. And it's like, I think that pairing him up with Boozer is going to be really fascinating to watch. You talk about
great. And
league pass teams, they're going to be one of the big league pass teams the next year.
Not a question.
Yeah, and hearing those type of stories again, like you don't hear a lot of guys coming from JUCO. The Cavs have Naquan Tomlin, who didn't play high school ball at all. And I guess somebody saw him, 6'9" guy, just playing in a New York City playground, and he bounced schools in college, but started and got to the G League and made his way up to the league. Like some guys, those are those feel good stories. Those are the guys that are so easy to root just because they worked so hard and they grinded so hard to get there, and they get that opportunity and they make the best of their opportunity.
Yeah. And it's always heartwarming when you get a chance to see that play out. So yeah, I mean, Memphis is in an interesting place because even with Boozer, I mean, you're still.
Oh, look at the picture making me feel old. Look at It's two nights that make me feel old watching the NBA. The draft and the Hall of Fame induction.
Don't worry about me, I'm in the same boat.
Well, and Don, I'll give you a little bit of nostalgia back from the station days here when we used to be doing the draft broadcasts. That what's the one line where you take a shot every time you hear it from the green room? My baby gonna get paid.
I do want to ask though, just as a team right now, because I know we're coming up on Chicago's pick right now. What are our thoughts on Caleb Wilson right now?
I mean, you go first, Don.
That's another guy
I'm conflicted.
He possibly could be another one of those guys out of this draft class that can be one of those top guys.
Yeah.
Yes,
I agree.
He's one of the forgotten guys in this draft because there he is. He's one of the forgotten guys because he was out and Carolina was invisible or not around for the tournament.
I mean, the Pope's Hubert Davis family too on top of that. So.
Yeah. And
look at old Hubert.
It's a thing where he's happy for him. I mean, my my thing always is I'm always, real cautious whenever somebody is a top pick, but it's like, I'm sure he's going to learn how to shoot at the next level. I mean, it never happened for Ben Simmons. So, I mean, to me,
Ben Simmons don't want to shoot a layup.
No, he don't want to either. And look, and Wilson's got every other part of the offensive game in his bag, but it's a thing where again, today's game is what it is. You're going with the 4th pick overall. There's going to be an expectation to at least some degree of being a floor spacer. He is not that right now at all. So how quickly they can kind of get him to that point is going to kind of predicate this. I will say.
One thing I'll say too is like Chicago is in a different scenario right now.
Yeah,
they have a couple of guys who can space the floor this time.
Well, they do, and that helps. So they can afford to kind of bring him along at that point in time. And I'm just saying, and I'm not comparing him, but like they took another power forward, Pat Williams, a couple of years ago in the spot there. Like I'm sure he'll learn how to shoot, and so it doesn't always happen.
He's collecting dust on the Chicago bench.
He is. So I mean, that's
I was just confirming the pick is in. So
yeah, cautionary tale. Well, so Wilson is the pick here. And this is a point that I've made previously to Ben, Don, but the way that history is moving in reverse right now, that the 2000 Eastern Conference champions were Indiana, 99 was the Knicks. In 98, the Bulls had a guy from North Carolina, and they won the Eastern Conference. So, just saying. I don't think it's going to work quite the same way. I think.
It's not going to work out like that.
No, not on this timeline.
We couldn't get that to work out.
I would say too, though, just in eternity, I am so fascinated by what the Clippers pick is going to be here at 5.
Yeah, this is when the draft starts because I think
this is where the real draft starts.
Yes,
these were the consensus. Every mock I've looked at for the last week, these were the 4 picks.
Yep.
And now it's interesting to see where the Clippers are going to go.
And going back further in time, I think these 4 have been basically locked in for that period of time. And I've been on record as saying I think probably and this is ever since Ben got to go see him play firsthand in Portland in the tournament here. Darius Acuff Jr. I think, and I might be number 4 on my board as far as a player goes, but a spot here where I mean, if you're the Clippers and you've got Garland and he's just coming off of a situation, actually 2 situations, right? Because it was him and Sexton previously and then him and Mitchell. Mm-hmm. He's already been in a backcourt where it's people pose the question of like, are these guys collectively big enough? So it's not going to be Acuff because the Clippers aren't going to want Garland to spend his entire career in a backcourt like that. But Don P and I agreed on our mock drafts here. Keaton Wagler, the point guard / shooting guard from Illinois. Yeah, because you get another point guard, but he's big enough to play the 2. Mm-hmm. It makes a lot of sense. It's, you get into this whole thing. This is what's weird because, like, I don't remember there ever being a draft like this of where we're going to remember this as being a very historic crop of point guards in this draft in what has already been, I think, in recent years, the golden age of NBA point guard play. I mean, I think it's been better and deeper than we've seen it maybe ever. And then you add these guys to it. It's kind of like what keeps happening with wide receivers in the NFL. But none of these guys were mocked in the top 4 of the draft. That's what's interesting. You had a couple of power forwards in there. You've got the shooting guard and Peterson. So none of them were deemed to be quite at that level. But once you get past that level, it's almost all point guards or guards / shooting guards.
We're going to see a run here.
We are, and deservedly so.
Nice run of them.
Yes. And I'm seeing on TV that they're focusing on Wagler, but probably because they're just speculating about him right now. But that would be.
Yeah. They're playing.
Pick is in.
Pick is in? Okay. All right. Well, I mean, that would be a heck of a thing for them.
I'm going to assume it'll be Wagler in this timeline, but we will see.
Well, and the other thing is
to get a trade done in the next couple of minutes, but I don't think that's happening.
What makes him perfect for this spot is, again, like
he has the size, right? As we know.
Well, he's big enough to play next to Garland, but he gives you the insurance if Garland's toe issues keep coming up, which hopefully not. I mean, that kid's due for a break here at some point.
There's a lot. Also, I will note on this thing too. There's a lot of discussion about Kawhi's future in the Clippers. It's not
in the Clippers' future.
There's
if they have some kind of punishment coming down, like that's still in the air.
It is, and that's. But I mean,
why they making Pablo Torre work sweat like this?
Why they making him sweat overtime tonight? I feel like he is on something.
I will say, and that for a show that I've talked about a lot on this show, great podcast out of Dallas, The Dumb Zone. They've got a list of people on that show that they deem to be on the list of why Hillary lost. And Pablo Torre is very prominently on their list. He's very prominent.
At the top of the list?
Yes,
he's at the top of the list?
Basically, yes.
That's hilarious.
Like people see Pablo Torre on TV and are like, damn it, I'm voting for
Here
Trump.
It is. Keith Wagler. Here we go. Good pick.
There we go.
Don and I are both 5 for 5 at this point. Couldn't brag about 4 for 4 for the reasons we said, but 5 for 5. Now we're getting there.
I mean, Rick, the big thing with him too is it's a size, it's his ability to play defense off the ball, and he is also a guy who can distribute at the time.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So I mean, when him and Garland are on the floor together, you've got an elite level secondary playmaker. And at times when it's just him on the floor and not Garland, then you've got somebody who's capable of being a very strong lead playmaker. So it works out very well. And it's a thing where, again, I feel very, very badly as somebody who's been such a fan of Darius Garland as a pro from day one to have to put the caveat on this of if he stays healthy. But man, if he stays healthy, this is one of the best backcourts in the league. I mean, this is it kind of.
We also need to talk about too. It's like this hypothetically could be the Indiana Pacers pick this timeline. So
that's right.
Tyrese. So
yes, that was the fact that it narrowly missed accruing to Indiana. And I gotta say, like, I don't get the whole thing. I don't get the deal that they made. And it was like, I know they felt like they had to fill the gap at center there, getting Zubac there at center, but it's like, I wouldn't have sold on Mathurin the way that they did. What did you think, Don? I didn't get that.
That was a head scratcher.
Okay, so it's not just me then.
Me.
Okay.
No, not just me out there.
Okay.
That was a like, why?
Like, I mean, Zubac is a fine, serviceable player, but the people who love that deal act like he's all that, and he's not. He's a fine, serviceable player. And Mathurin
only looks great against Jared Allen. That's all.
Yeah, and exactly.
Jared Allen makes him look like Arvydas Sabonis.
That was
we need to come and save that, Rick. That is
well,
Jared Allen makes him look like Arvydas Sabonis.
This is a crew with some real can you top this potential. So we'll have quite a sizzle reel by the time the night's over. But yeah, that would be on it. But that is, I didn't get it either. Like why they would make that deal. And then that's even before they ended up losing the pick. I mean, all you had to do was just sit there, keep Mathurin. You've got your pick. That means you've probably got Wagler right now to add to that backcourt. Like that is just.
Rick, my bigger thing is like.
Oh, I'm with you, Don. I'm so happy.
It was going to be top 5 protected. I'm like, why the hell do you not do top 3?
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't think the Clippers would have been. They wouldn't have batted 9 that period of time.
Well, and here's the thing is that like it was really incompetent on their part because most years.
I mean, Rick, it's Kevin Pritchard. That's all you need to know.
I get it, but still, it's like most years top 3 would suffice. This is a year where, like I said, you get outside the consensus top 4, and then you've got a historic run of point guards. This year's draft is a draft where you should want like a top 12 protection on this draft, like at least deeper with it being this year. And I get the whole thing that they were given. Well, actually, wait a minute. No, because they just made the deal last season. They could see what the shape of this draft was going to be. Yeah. How do you say top 3? Yeah.
I just use this rule, Rick, just if you were even doing it in terms of like if you're playing on NBA 2K. Yeah. Why would you not top 3 protect that pick? Why?
I don't understand it. I truly don't understand.
Turn the sliders up.
Yeah.
Gotta turn the sliders up.
Yeah. No, I don't get it.
I don't think the difference between top 5 and top 3 is that dramatic in this timeline.
Right. No, I don't get it, and it's regrettable for them that they didn't. Although, as Don said, yes, like or for Don and I being lifelong Cleveland Cavalier fans, that was great because we didn't need to see anything like that happen.
I don't need. Don't get. I don't need to see Tyrese Halliburton get any weapons anymore.
Eventually. Also, we need to bring this up too. We don't know how Kawhi's scenario in the Clippers is going to be in the next 6 months or so.
Yeah, because he's going into his last year of his contract, and
yeah, we don't know.
I mean, who knows? He might ask for a piece of the team. I mean, Uncle Dennis he's gonna try to get something.
Well,
he'll ask for half the arena.
Yeah. I mean,
Uncle Dennis is sending me a text right now.
But I mean, color me suspicious as far as like the league is not going to want Steve Ballmer in this $2 billion castle that he just built to have a shite team forever. So I mean, I'm very, very, very leery that it's going to be like we're going to do to them what was done to Minnesota with Joe Smith. No, that's not happening. Like there's no scenario where the Clippers are going to get it that badly. Adam Silver knows
they're happy.
Yeah. Well, they should.
They got a point guard.
Well, yeah, and that's where again, if it ends up being Acuff, I mean, and I'm assuming that it is. I'm assuming that when Acuff dropped, that's probably what it was. But evidently, having a technical issue here with Ben Chu here momentarily. We'll hope to patch him back in.
That's right. They are in Brooklyn. I forgot they were at Barclays.
Yeah, and
that's why they so happy. This is
it. Okay, all right. I mean, I would have gone for Acuff, but I mean, I think Brown's a fine player too, and
yes,
you have is. It's I know that he is considered to be pretty much primarily a point guard, but at 6'5", you do have the switchability a bit. I can see this guy stealing some minutes at shooting guard. I can see that being the case. We got Ben back. All right, so here we go.
Here we go.
All righty. All right. So,
I mean, I'm not mad at the pick. It's just
I'm going to use this rule. This is
wow.
It's
a very wet dream for the Sacramento Kings owner.
Absolutely. Yeah. Boy, did they get lucky.
They don't deserve it.
You know what? And I'm
going through all of that stuff and saying, oh, well, we want a franchise point guard. Well, you had two of them and you traded them both away, and they both went on to go to the damn NBA Finals.
Yeah. I mean,
you had them.
I will say this. I mean, the notion of Acuff going to Sacramento, like, I'll be honest with you. I'm feeling a little sick to my stomach right now because it's like,
I feel bad.
I hate whenever there's a whole situation where there's a talent that is so great and it's like, oh God, you're sending them there. Usually I feel that way about when the Browns take somebody, but it's here it's the Browns of the NFL, the Sacramento or NBA, the Sacramento Kings.
Well, we'll see what happens, Rick. The problem is that he does not play a lot of great defense in this timeline. So
no, he doesn't.
We'll but he is a top level scorer. We don't need to
beautiful pocket pass.
Yes. And it's like, and I will say too, some of the players that are on Sacramento, like the notion of like Acuff coming in and being the lead guy, like, I mean, I'm not going to say this about DeRozan because he's 100% a good guy, but like Zach LaVine and some of these other guys, I'm getting vibes right now of Ricky Davis circa 03. I'm looking forward to welcoming LeBron to my team.
Yeah. That was some good stuff. He really thought it was his team.
The Kings ownership group is partying right now.
I remember writing
Ricky Davis.
I remember writing a guest column for a website, Don P, in December of 03 when Ricky Davis was traded, and it was right about the time of LeBron's birthday. And I remember like the lead of the column was basically for his 18th birthday, Dan Gilbert has just given LeBron the keys to the car. So that was
he thought it was his team.
Yeah.
Him, Boozer, and Miles talk about we can come and jump on our bandwagon.
Yeah.
The team from
He can
Quebec.
come jump on our
We
band.
know we're picking.
No,
It's done. It's over.
hey, Don. It's
all those guys were gone by the All-Star break.
and they're like, if you weren't with
Got 'em
us
all
and we
outta
were
here.
winning 18 games, then we don't want you now.
All of them were gone.
Yes, they
We're going
were.
to put this out in the world. If it isn't Darius Acuff Jr., look, you can ban me from the lounge. Ban me. I will never come back if this is not Darius Acuff Jr. right now.
Yeah.
There is no way.
Well,
This is a suit that I didn't see. That is a nice suit that he's wearing. That's a nice color. The blue pants, the white with the that's nice there.
Unless it's a trade. If it's a trade,
I do fashion reviews too.
It's it's a way where, I mean, while it's not monochrome, but it's still somewhat understated. It's tastefully understated, I would say. The light colors kind of go together here. So yeah, props to the kid for figuring it out on that one. And again, if I was the Nets, I would have taken Acuff. But I mean, this is a kid that's going to be fine. Like in this spot, it was a thing where
my favorite thing too, Rick, is like he has the athleticism to be a league.
He does, and I think the mandate in this spot, the mandate for a lot of these teams, really, I mean, whether you're talking for Washington, for Utah, for a number of these teams, Memphis, I don't think was quite able to do with Boozer because they don't have as many parts around him as some of the other teams do. But like, can you get the guy where it's like from here on in, it's forward movement, the tank is done. And I think Brooklyn got that. Brooklyn got that guy in Brown. I think Acuff might have a little more easily been that guy, but still, yeah, I think they did fine.
Breaking news.
Okay.
He just got a text from Julius Randle to tell him to pass on the ball.
Yeah.
And Michael Porter Jr. texted him right after that. So they're already fighting to get the ball.
They are. And
there he is.
Wow. The most studiously neutral looking face I've ever seen on draft night. Darius Acuff Jr. has just been informed that he's going to Sacramento. And let me tell you something.
DeMarcus Cousins talk about Sacramento.
He
must have heard him.
All I know is this. If I could pull off a poker face like Darius Acuff Jr., I would have already won the Tournament of Champions in my Texas Hold'em League. But that's I don't have a poker face as good as that kid.
This rule in terms of sources from Sacramento, he was always the pick, as long as there wasn't someone else more interested in.
But let's not forget, Sacramento was a team that really slid in the ping pong balls because of the teams that jumped them. So it's like they still get this kid. Like, what a roller coaster ride it's been a no-cal. Like, oh crap, we get the 7th
pick. And again, like I use this rule. This is still the Sacramento Kings, but
it is.
They have I'm not gonna say anything insane, but they have a lot of decent young players. So we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. And.
This is
they won't be lighting the beam that much.
That's what I would.
No, they won't be. And one of the things is too, like again, I don't get to see enough games firsthand to necessarily have a strong opinion on every player in the league. But the fall off that they had this year from Sabonis, I haven't seen anything that really sort of explains that. And that's the thing where it's like if he's still got some oomph in him at his age. Because this would be premature if he was starting to hit the slide already. So it's like, if you're pairing him with, the Sabonis of a year, 2 years, 3 years ago, then even though it's Sacramento, you can look at it like, okay, well, yeah.
That's not happening, period.
Okay. Do you think it's a one-way slide? Do you think he's...
It's a one-way slide. They're trying to break that team on some level.
And, well, they should be.
Or they'll tell me that if DeRozan does not agree to a lower contract, he will be traded.
Okay. And that's the whole thing. I mean, and here's where we get interesting from here on in. Now that we're getting to the post-tank era, is what kind of value do guys like DeRozan have to lift your floor up? Like, he's not going to do anything to give you any kind of a ceiling whatsoever. But the notion of at least getting to 4 so you get some more ping pong balls, that's where maybe he serves, some value.
I do have a very good question right now because Atlanta's coming up with their next selection. Mm-hmm. Who do you guys think they're going to take Atlanta?
Well, Don P and I disagreed on this one. I had it being Burries. I think you said Brown. Did you not, Don?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So with it not being Brown, obviously, who do you think potentially in this spot? I'll stay with Burries.
I'm gonna have to go there. I'm with you there. Then
It's.
I feel like if it isn't Burris, it's going to be Mara in this one.
Oh, interesting. Because I was going to say Flemings maybe, but okay. But that's
I feel like it's going to be Mara.
Okay.
Because I know Atlanta wants to get some size.
Okay, but the one thing that I will say is, and I was telling this to console my nephew who was an Atlanta Hawks fan, and he did see the logic in what I was telling him, which is, you've got McCollum there who I didn't honestly know when he got there. It was kind of hard to judge because of some of the crappy surroundings he'd been in. I didn't know how much the guy had left in the tank. He got to Atlanta and he showed he still got it left in the tank here. So it's like
a high level of disrespect to CJ McCollum.
Yeah. Well,
we love him. He's one of us.
He is. But I mean, he's also been around forever, so there's that.
A long time. He's been.
I think I'm well within my rights.
Years.
Yeah, I think I'm well within my rights to wonder. But he set me straight. He's still got some juice. But it's like much like Dallas, when you have the potential to have a young point guard learn behind Kyrie Irving. Imagine taking one of these guys and having him get a chance to learn from McCollum, also play alongside him from time to time.
I want to ask you a question. I'll ask Don P too. It's like,
yeah,
we're within the range of the Douse pick right now.
We are.
Should they take Nate Ahmed? Should they do that?
Probably, yeah, probably. I mean, and this is where again, this is where the Dusty May thing flips everything on its head here, because you get a guy that the coach is so tied into, knows how to get the best out of, etc. This is where it kind of makes sense. I was seeing some stuff today where I think it was on CBS where they were saying like, oh, well, it's not like the GM is going to surrender his prerogative on this. But it's like, you don't hire Dusty May without figuring, hey, it might be a good idea to take one of those three guys, So I promise you they've already factored this into it. This isn't Dusty May pulling a power play if the kid ends up there. This is that they have considered that, like, hey, maybe circumstances have changed. We got a coach who's really wired into these guys. But I might be quicker to go for Landenberg than Mara, but if I was them, but I don't know. It's hard to say. I think Landenberg might have a little bit more potential as a floor spacer potentially, but who knows? None of these guys are that polished in that regard. To be sure. So, yeah, it's this is where it starts to get interesting. Is it like how many point guards do we continue to have go in a row here? How many of probably be the Michigan men jumping in if there is something to break up the point guard run? There's also Nate Ahmed from Tennessee, who I had him mocked to Milwaukee. Who did you have? Okay, you did too, Don. So yeah, so that.
And bring this up too, Rick, is like I know Yaxel Landenberg has been going up and down in this timeline. So
yeah,
there's an opportunity for Golden State to take him. This could be that area if they could take him.
Well, and I don't know if you factor this into your considerations, Don, but in light of and again, God bless you, Milwaukee Bucks fans. We know what you're dealing with your new lead owner that you have there. But in light of that. That was why I was like, "Oh, they're going to take the guy from Tennessee." That was what cinched it for me.
That tracks.
Yeah,
that tracks, and that. If that's the pick, we know who made it. That name is on the whiteboard in big bold letters, and he wrote it up there. He got there before everybody, and he wrote that name on the board and underlined it 3 times.
And
he definitely did that.
At the opening press conference in Milwaukee tomorrow or Friday or whenever it's going to be,
he's definitely wearing an orange tie.
Yes, the hot mics will overhear Jimmy Haslam shaking his hand and asking him, "Son, have you ever met Peyton Manning?"
Oh man.
All right, here we go.
All right, here we go, Atlanta.
8th pick. Okay, Kingston Flemings. All right. Yeah, so my theory bears some fruit here that they go for a kid that again, 6'4". I mean, he can steal some minutes at the 2. I would say he can probably play alongside McCollum a little bit here, but can certainly play behind him. Can learn from.
Or can I say like he is the heir apparent?
He's absolutely the heir apparent.
Or could be that.
Well, and here's the thing too, is that and again, depending on him, I think McCollum's always been a team guy, but it's a thing here where it might be feasible to keep him, but it's a thing where when you look at Fleming's, the way that he was able to assert himself at Houston as a freshman, which typically doesn't happen in a Sampson franchise, but for him to come in and pretty much be lead dog year one in a program where that doesn't really happen, he may surpass McCollum sooner rather than later, potentially. And then it becomes a matter of, can McCollum handle being the 6th man on this team? I would think that he could. McCollum, I think, is down to earth.
I love Kelvin Sampson guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They come just knowing that he comes from that.
Yeah.
You know what type of player you're going to get.
Yeah.
When I was a season ticket holder for the Charge, they had a kid here, Nate Hinton.
Okay.
Comes from that. He was 6'4", 6'5", guard forward. He had that grit, that grind, like it, and he's a great kid too.
Mm-hmm.
But just knowing what he's been taught with Kelvin Sampson, they got them a good one.
Yes, they did. They absolutely
I'll
did.
put this out there, Rick. He's one of my favorite players in this draft.
Okay. Yeah, I can understand that. And when you look at it, so let's drill down a little bit here, Don, because something you and I had talked about off air previously was that from having been a Cleveland Charge season ticket holder for a couple of years, Ben and I have been talking since 2020 on this show about the NBA trending more towards player development. And taking it seriously, I think, in a way where not everybody across the league has, but the Cavs have been one of the franchises that have. Mm-hmm. You see Mike Gansey going to Philadelphia here. You see that they're trying to get something off of that tree. What were some of the thoughts that you picked up from being at these games, watching in the G League, watching one of these model franchises for player development and the way that things play out on that team night in and night out?
Just seeing how hard those guys were working and how hard those guys were out there playing was the one thing that really stuck out. And I point to Sam Merrill, who was on the Milwaukee Bucks championship team and made his way here and worked his way to the NBA contract. Also, you also had guys, Sharif Cooper spent a couple of years here, one of the most exciting players there. Naquan Tomlin was another guy. Yeah. At first glance, Naquan Tomlin, like you see him and you wonder, like, there's nothing there. And then you see the guy play and it's like, oh, okay. Now I see. And then you have cases where it didn't work out. The Imani Bates experiment didn't work out, which I kind of saw that it wasn't going to work out once he got into his second year and having that knee surgery. Like you could see it like, all right, they're going to go away from him. And then the play of Jalen Tyson and Naquan Tomlin kind of helped that along.
Yes.
But just the guys work, the players work hard. The coaches are the same. They had a hell of a staff down there with the Charge. Mike Garrity had a hell of a staff down there. Chris Darnell, I believe Chris Darnell is in the league now. I think
he is. Yeah.
He might be in Sacramento. I think that's where he went.
Maybe.
I'm going to fact check that, Don, right now.
I think that's where he's at.
Yeah, no, he is in Sacramento. Yep.
Okay.
He's in Sacramento. Yeah.
Yep, he's in Sacramento.
Chris Darnell. They also had Omar Cook was down there. They had Darvin Ham's son there. One of the Jones boys was there.
Oh, okay.
Like the coaching staff like that. Booby was there for a minute. But I like the way, and you see Garrity made his way up to Kenny Atkinson's staff. Omar Cook is also up there. So like they use the G League and they bring guys up and they work guys up as far as with the Cavaliers go. I believe the Miami Heat do the same exact thing The head coach for Sioux Falls, I believe he's on the Heat staff. Now I can't remember the guy's name for nothing.
Yeah, I think he is.
It leaves me.
Yeah.
But he moved up. And that's a good thing that and you have to at this, because I mean, hell, they've pretty much banned veterans from a lot of these teams.
Yes.
You don't see a lot of veterans.
I may be wrong, Don. Is it Don Biesco?
I think that's the guy.
I think that might be him.
Sioux Falls, yeah.
He was with Sioux Falls, yeah.
I feel like this is going to be Nate Ament, though, just because we're getting the Dallas pick. I feel like this is going to be Nate Ament.
Morez Johnson.
And
Michigan man.
Dusty.
There goes the point guard party.
Yeah. Dusty May just on camera a minute ago here with a "look what I done" ma grin on his face as they take one of his guys. Interestingly, the guy who was most commonly mocked third of the three. Not that it was, not like a distant third, mind you.
Oh,
but
cry, mama.
Little bit of
ahead, cry, girl.
Little bit of an upset that it's him as opposed to Mara Orlando.
Wow.
Just because, based on the way that was going, you would have thought this. And again, I think there's still a lot of logic to had they gone for a point guard to either learn behind Kyrie or potentially replace him, because you keep hearing the Kyrie trade rumors that, a contender is potentially going to be after him. But this is
I feel like I may be a little bit behind, but I have to think like Milwaukee's going to take a bet here. I feel like it'd be really weird if they don't.
Yeah, I think they're going to. And like the thing that I'm seeing from the closed captioning here, they're talking about Johnson being a lob threat. And it's like, you do already have that though. Like you've already,
you got a couple of them.
Person's name.
Yeah, more than one actually. Come to think of it, I mean, I was thinking of Lively, but Lively, Gafford, a couple of these guys here. So I mean,
wow,
this is going to rise or fall on his ability to really become any kind of a shooter and floor spacer. I think it's going to, because I think to justify passing on a point guard, I think that's what it's going to take. Like he can't just be another one of these bodies. Like if it's a thing of like, oh, they've got an intriguing combo of him and Lively and Gafford. No, he's got to separate from those other two, I think, if this pick is going to be justified. Yeah. Like you can't have it be like, we got the third part of the three-headed monster. No, miss me with that. Like he's got to progress beyond that if this pick is going to be justified. So to me, the jury's out on this one. Like, but I will say though, for as much as I put over May before, he had to have had a strong voice in this, and he must think that there is still untapped potential here. But again, a fast rising kid.
Not be surprising. We've seen this.
They're happy.
Yeah,
smiling.
They're
not the
happy.
NBA, just in all sports where
someone
wants their guy.
And
there's mom crying. There's another one of those moments.
Yeah,
go ahead, cry.
Yeah, that always happens too. But Ben, I think we said this after the combine on here. He was one of the guys who moved up a bit because of the combine.
Yes,
was he not? Yeah. That's what I thought. Okay.
And my bigger thing too, overall, if you're talking about him defensively, he's one of the better defenders of the Big Ten.
Right. Sure.
The bigger thing is his offensive game if you're trying to pair him with Cooper Flag, but again, we will see.
Mm-hmm.
The bigger thing with Dallas right now is they do not have a lot of secondary draft capital in this timeline. So within this narrative of getting Cooper Flag, you have about a year or two, and that's it, really, to be honest.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
By the way, somebody having a little bit of fun being master of the obvious at ESPN with the Chiron Morez Johnson Sr., parentheses, Morez Johnson Jr.'s father. Thank you for elaborating on that. I could not have assumed the second line.
It must be new. It must be new there. It must be his first day on the job.
Rick, I'm just going to be shocked that this is not Nate Ament Jr. for Milwaukee. I'm going to be very surprised.
I think it's going to be. I think the Tennessee pedigree certainly is going to help a lot in that regard. And so I think, with Milwaukee coming up next, that will be something that we need to be getting into as far as their whole trade deal
I'll
here.
say too, Rick, the Dallas contingent is very happy right now, so we will see.
They were.
Yeah, well, they know something here apparently. So we will see about that. Hour two of the show. A couple of quick reads here, brought to you by, first of all, from Chaotic Goodist, Maya Master, the great emerging mind of the 2020s. Maya Master is an amazingly insightful mental health advocate and authority, and is the author of 3 absolutely unique books: Everything I Didn't Say, On the Rocks, and the most widely applicable, Until You Make It. For more information, look up Chaotic Goodist on Linktree and Twitter. Also, the new independent movie, The Last Shop on Walnut. The Last Shop on Walnut is one of the great independent films of 2026. After 15 years of isolation inside the building that houses his lamp store, a deeply remorseful and guilt-ridden man is forced to confront his past when family secrets and neighborhood gentrification push him to finally face the outside world. Politician turned actor Peter Lawson Jones turns in an award-winning performance in his first leading role on the big screen. Keep up with the distribution of this movie at thelastshopOnWalnut.com. Also brought to you by Comtrol. Comtrol is a unique company in the technology and communication space, serving as a consumer advocate to help you obtain the best value possible, keeping your prices down and your quality of service up. That's what Comtrol does in this very challenging inflationary climate, and they've done it for decades. Check out the company mission, philosophy, promise, and so much more at Comtrol.com. And Raining for Hope. Raining for Hope is operating one of the most on the most innovative level for folks needing psychological soothing. In the Woodgate Farms estate homes in Northeast Ohio, you will find a supremely cutting-edge approach to a variety of mental health issues. It's equine therapy, a powerful and soothing form of treatment that is completely experiential. You will find best-in-class support in a powerful setting that will get you back to where you need to be. Find them on the web at rainingforhope.com. And there you see a couple of the beautiful horses that are involved at the Raining for Hope farm. So, all right. So back to the picks here. And the commissioner is right about now announcing.
They just gained the corner.
Oh, okay. Braden Burries. Okay. So,
okay.
And this is where, I mean,
Burries was one who has been rising up the draft stock break.
And that's the thing too, is that like I think Nate Amet's got a pretty good ceiling, but I think I like Burry's ceiling just a little bit more. And if you're Milwaukee, you have officially entered your swing from the heels era of your franchise here. Like,
and you also have opportunities to pick him hypothetically here, because if you don't take him here, I don't think a lot of teams are going to take Nate Amet in this timeline.
And that's true. They can still that's a consideration that
Here's
didn't
Rich
exist.
Paul.
Yeah, that's a consideration that didn't exist when Don and I were doing our mock drafts, because when we did our mock drafts, you didn't have Milwaukee with the 10th and 13th picks. So
I have a question though, because I've seen a handful of picks now. It's like, do we need all the smoke right now?
No, I think you probably should reserve smoke for the first couple of picks here. Probably, I think we're in the post smoke part of the draft. Yeah. But that's just
they got the rest of that smoke from the Knicks in their parade.
Yeah,
they got to use it. Hey,
I will say that Braden Burry's draft suit is immaculate. Though.
It is, and
good suit.
This is a backcourt where, again, I think if I were Tyler Hero, I would be renting, not owning at this point, because I think he's
from there.
Yeah, well, sucks to be him.
From there.
Just moving, just move back to your old room, buddy.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Save your money.
As opposed to buying a place, because it wouldn't be worth it. But because again, he doesn't really fit on
the analogy at this time, Rick. He's probably going to be the sixth man on his team to start this time.
Might be, but I was just going to say they have a very interesting backcourt, because Ryan Rollins really kind of emerged a bit last year.
Yes,
they got Yakasionis in the trade, who has some. I think he has some real potential here as a strong sixth man candidate himself. Kevin Porter Jr., who I've chronicled his ups and downs on the show over the years, and so it's an interesting backcourt. They've got a lot of depth.
I do have to ask. So like, I just want to ask opinions right now. It's like overall thoughts on the Giannis trade in this timeline.
Well, I will say, like, I'm I'm glad selfishly that Giannis doesn't go to Boston because as much as I hate Boston, but I don't get it. Like this is the type of deal that gets wish casted by all these idiot Heat fans on the internet. Like, you know what we're going to do next summer? We're going to go get Donovan Mitchell with 3 pieces of pocket lint and a bunch of marbles, and here they did it. And it's like, like CBS Sports, when they were doing their trade, like, we can't quite give Miami an A+ because, you can't. Like, I know they gave up, but they didn't have to give up Adebayo. I mean, that's the most important thing. You've got him and Adebayo, and they're very thin around them, which is why I don't seriously count them as an Eastern Conference championship contender yet at this point, because there's not a whole lot around them there. But I mean, I 4 quarters for $1. It's the classic thing. If you had Jaylen Brown coming back the other way, then you could still, if you squinted hard enough, you could still see where you're on today's timeline, as opposed to now. Your best hope would be tanking, but no, we're now in the post-tanking era. So, I mean, I don't
want one of those top 3 picks now.
No, you don't. So, I mean,
one had the worst records now.
What do you think, Don? I got to think you're as befuddled as I was about this.
I'm actually glad that the whole thing is over.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I love Giannis,
right,
Giannis, I've said it many, many times. Giannis is my favorite non-Cavaliers player in the NBA, not named LeBron James. I love watching Giannis play. I go see him twice a year. When they come to Cleveland, I'm going to see Milwaukee when Giannis was there. And best believe when the Heat come to town next season, I'll be in the building. I have to see Giannis. Like, he's my guy. I'm glad this thing is over with. Like,
yeah, no, thank God.
I know, like, he fought back and forth. Like, he don't want to. I still believe he doesn't want to leave Milwaukee.
No,
right?
Like, he loves it. Like, that's home for him. Like, just knowing his story and how he grew up and all of that stuff. Like, right. Milwaukee was his place.
Right.
And I think he knew, like, I can't win another ring up.
No.
The team is too cap strapped. Like, it's a lot. It's too much. And all of the guys that helped him win that championship.
I know this is a very pro-Ohio podcast, but I will use this rule. It's Miami, baby. That's all I need to know.
Sure. But I mean,
no state income tax.
No.
Big pay raise.
Miami.
Yeah.
He went from Greek freak to South Beach freak.
That's all I need to know.
That makes the sizzle real too. But I mean, I will say this.
He's married, of course, and I don't condone that type of stuff, but South Beach freak.
Yeah. Well,
you never know, Don. He could have an open relationship. You never know these things.
Yeah. Could be. And I will say that, like, I always feel like when you have a player like that, and one of the reasons that I've always respected Dan Gilbert as much as I have is that he has always gone balls to the wall whenever so in this era, when he's got some star caliber players here, and really both times with LeBron, just the fact that it didn't work out the first time around. He had LeBron in his ear, by the way. LeBron was like, hey, you need to go get Larry Hughes. Like, so I mean, that's how much is you got to put that on Dan Gilbert, but like it's your obligation. You have to surround your keystone player as much as you can. And I've seen instances over time where Milwaukee cheaped out. Like, I don't remember, but like the one young point guard that they traded away, I don't remember the kid's name.
Was it Malcolm Brogdon?
Brogdon, yes. Like,
Brogdon, yeah.
They admitted it was a salary dump. And it's like, what? How do you have a salary dump when you have Giannis here? Like, and it wasn't even we dumped him to free up money. But like,
when the Dame Lillard trade happened, I was excited for Dame because I love Dame.
Yeah.
But I was puzzled. I said, that's not going to work. It's
right.
like you trade your best defensive player outside of Giannis.
Right.
For Dame, who's not known for defense.
No.
The drop-off was going to happen.
Right.
It was like, yeah, of course you're going to go from tops. You're going to go from one of the best defensive teams to the middle of the pack.
Portland. All that shit worked out somehow.
Yeah, somehow.
It did.
Dave
and now he's back.
back.
And I couldn't be more happy for Dame.
Yeah.
But
I use his rule to this day
because he didn't want to leave Portland.
We're in the Golden State pick timeline, but I use this rule. It's like one of the most trades of all time that was going to be impactful somehow benefited the team that traded it.
Yeah.
That usually just never happens.
Incredibly so. And I know Golden State's going to make their pick, but I'm gonna do a Brian Cage and get my shit in real quick here. But as far as like this is something that Ben and I had talked about previously, that Portland botched where they were at on the timeline, because sometimes it's not in your best interest to make a deep playoff run, because then you delude yourself into thinking you're closer than you were. That 2019 run against Golden State, that was like that was a mirage, and they weren't able to put enough pieces together around Dame. The time to have moved on from Dame was a couple of years before, when you could have gotten full value for him. But you waited too long because you couldn't put together a winner around him. And by the time you did it, you had to settle for what the deal was that you were going to make with Milwaukee. Timing is everything here. The timetables of these players in their prime, you can't hold on to somebody for too long because you're delusional. You're like, we're this close. We're this close. You really weren't.
No,
you were never that close.
No. You just never know.
You were never that close. By the way, and for
go back to the Golden State pick, though, Rick. I know you wanted to interrupt.
Speaking of teams that have deluded themselves about how close they are,
go to OKC, but Golden State picked them, the Oxalana board. Let's talk about it. I feel like he's one of the most intriguing players in this draft.
And that's
first things first. I hope that Steve Kerr does play the guy. He don't like playing the young guys. We've seen it for the last 5.
That's right. Years. And thumbs up to you, Don. You picked this one. You had him going. I had him going a pick later. I had Mara going in this spot. But I agree with you on that. But, I mean, this is a thing where, I mean, I really, really, really hate to say it, but, I mean, for a guy who they're saying could have the potential of becoming at least a fairly decent floor spacer, it's probably going to happen going to Golden State. And I really don't like seeing Golden State get that kind of an asset. So that is, by the way, everybody, I'm happy belated 10-year anniversary on the Cavs championship here. So
yes,
I don't mean to.
I'm going to speak about that more. I'm going to speak about the ceremony, this past Friday ceremony more on Club Pizzle. I just felt it was weird that they did that and the team was in Scotland.
Yeah.
I just felt it was weird. It was strange.
That's fair.
Do you feel like there was a lack of communication on the logistics of it? Like when they go into Scotland and when they could have been here? Do you feel like that could have been a thing?
I think they might have planned their trip, and by the time they planned their trip and the Cavs planned this whole thing, like, stuff was like, I believe they had their thing already and it was solidified. Even though, I mean, y'all are millionaires and one of y'all is a billionaire.
Yeah.
Stuff could have been moved around.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
it just felt weird that David Griffin was the only one
right
from that whole thing that was there.
It is.
It was weird to me.
Please tell me they at least did they in whether or not he made it, and it sounds like he didn't from what you're saying. Please tell me they at least invited Ty Lue. Please.
I mean, Ty Lue was not there.
He definitely was not there.
Okay.
Deli was in Scotland with the guys.
Okay. And look, and I
know it was only a few of the guys that weren't there. I know Mozgov wasn't there. Mo Williams wasn't there. Of course, Mo Williams is coaching. He's coaching, so he's probably on the recruiting trail over the summer.
Sure.
So Don, all you girl too is like, we knew Kyrie probably wasn't going to be there. To be honest.
Right.
He chilling.
Yeah.
Right.
Kyrie lives on his own narrative.
Yeah.
He's on his own
Kyrie time. It's
look at mama and son crying. That's how you did. That's the moment right there.
Yeah. Exactly.
These are those moments, man.
Well, and again,
I wonder. It makes me wonder: is he crying because he's happy that he's playing with Steph Curry, or is he crying because he knows there's a chance that Steve Kerr's not going to play him? That he's a rookie. I mean, which one is it?
I feel like it's a little bit of both.
I get to play with Steph, but I might not play.
I get to play with Steph in practice.
In practice. Like, if you were to play with a legendary player, and you were a guy who was on a team, do you want to be that guy? Or would you prefer to play for a team that's like, well, they're not as good, but I can get my 20 or 30 points in the game?
I mean, I would play with an outgoing legend because I know like he's on his way out. I maybe 1-2 more years, and then it could be my time. I'm gonna soak everything up and learn everything I can from him. I would probably have told them like if they do the call like the NFL do, like I need Steph's number.
Yeah.
I'm calling Steph. Where you going? Where you gonna be at? I'm gonna meet you wherever. Like when you go shoot, I'm going to shoot with you.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Well,
I'm just so fascinated by that because I know, at least as an athlete on some level, there's two different narratives, which is you want to be with the best or you want to be the best.
You want to be the best.
Yeah.
Well, it's learning from him and
but I'm
Kerr,
definitely
really.
getting Steph on the phone. Like,
right.
I need you to teach me all of that. I need all of it.
Yeah.
But bring Dale and Seth with you.
That's a combo deal. It's a combo deal because like Curry and Kerr at this point are leaving together. So you better learn from both of them while you're there. So, but in the meantime, I will predict that he is going to become a better outside shooter. And really, that's going to make him a relatively complete player in today's game. He brings so many of the other attributes to it. So it's as a Golden State hater, you know, I'm not real thrilled with this one, seeing the potential.
It's a very interesting pick.
Uh-huh.
But we also know like Steve Kerr does not like to play a lot of rookies.
That is true. That is absolutely true. So you have to.
And here comes Sam Presti. Like, I already know this pick is going to be good. I mean,
I'm going to be really shocked on if he doesn't.
Sam Presti.
I would be shocked if he doesn't take a minute.
I mean, that's
wow.
And look, I had the last two picks flip-flopped, so it was kind of like if they didn't get Wanderberg, you kind of knew they were going here. Yeah.
You have to.
So what does this mean for? Is this Hartenstein?
Yeah.
Where does this leave Hartenstein?
All right. Well, and let's talk about that, Don, because there's an assumption I've been making in doing my mock drafts, not just this year, but last year, that now I'm seeing some pundits kind of upending that a bit as far as like, oh, well, if anything, the playoffs show that Oklahoma City has to pay Hartenstein because they'd be even worse against Wemby if they didn't have him. I continue to think that paying Wemby or paying Hartenstein that was a luxury that you had before these other contracts started kicking in. And I just don't think that they can afford the luxury of that. And that's where, again, and this is not the only young big body that they've got on this team here. I think that's what they're trying to do. I think they're trying to accrue possibilities when you have the draft capital that they have. And I've poo-pooed this over the years. The people are like, they're going to become a dynasty because of their draft capital. And it's like, no, they're not. If they become a dynasty, it's because they suck enough years to get enough top picks. It'll be their own suckitude that does that. And for the most part, that's what happened. You never become a dynasty off the 25th pick in the draft from a contender. Come on now. So, never. I mean, for the most part, it's been their own picks that have built them into where they're at. But this is where the fact that they've become this good far quicker than anybody thought they could be, this is where it's like, okay, you can package up a bunch of stuff, play the numbers game with bodies. That's what you got to do, I think. So that's where I think paying Hartenstein is just, it's a luxury you can't afford. We talked about this before. So a center that's not a floor spacer, that's a challenge. How do you price it out? How do you legitimately price it out? But in Utah, they can play these Socratic kind of games like, what does it really cost? In Oklahoma City, where the bills are coming due, I don't think they can afford it, Don.
I don't think so either. And, I mean, like, the talk about Lou Dort, them not bringing Lou Dort back either, is another talking point. So
right.
Again, this is Sam Presti doing Sam Presti things. He's gonna go right in there and plop him next to Chet.
Yep.
They're gonna be fine.
The name I was trying to think of before, Thomas Sorber. So they've already got another young big man in there. I don't think they've really gotten a chance to see anything from him yet. But this is where this was the obvious move for them to make, because even with the whole thing of like, oh, well, they might have to replace Lou Dort. Oklahoma City is not hurting for wings.
At
but as
all.
far as not at all, buddy.
Like
they'll
miss Lou, but they won't miss Lou.
Exactly.
And somebody else will be happy to have him.
Right. Like, this move makes so much more sense because you got to play that numbers game. You got to hope that one of these guys can become the guy to replace Hartenstein. And I think that there's a very good chance.
For OKC, at least for Sam Presti, this is the best case scenario for them right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be able to the guy who was projected to be going a little bit earlier, but this is really great for them.
I mean,
and I believe he's going to work out, because what's the last pick Sam Presti's missed on?
Haven't been many.
I mean, unless the dude is injured, that's always in there.
He is he made all of it.
Can I do?
It's hard to hate him. Like, I want to hate, but it's hard to, because
no, you can always
doing such a damn good job.
It's hard to hate. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh dear God, we're in the world of John P. Since I've been hated now. Come on.
Can I do my Wemby impression? I'll answer your question. The answer is
Never.
Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren was the last wasted pick.
I love that rivalry between those two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was telling one of my buddies, I say Wemby really don't like him.
No.
I say you can go back and look at them when they were playing each other when they were teenagers.
Yeah.
And Chet and was holding that gold belt. You can look at, like, Wemby really don't like him. And it shows in the NBA. Like, you can see, like, he does not like him.
Yeah.
At all.
And
he probably tired of seeing him.
Right.
Like, I'm tired of looking at you.
Yeah.
I'm tired of you beat.
And it's a thing where, like, in the NBA, it's very, very rare between two star players that hatred can be so effectively weaponized. I mean, Isaiah Thomas and Michael Jordan hated each other. That didn't really give that much of an edge either way. I mean, Jordan was a red ass about a lot of guys, so you can't really say that it made any kind of difference there, but it was like he never reduced Isaiah Thomas to a quivering puddle the way that Holmgren looked in the playoffs here. So, such that people are now questioning whether he should still have a max contract, and such that I dropped him out of the top 30 players in the league in this year's Pro Hoops Draftology 2026. By the way, go find that on the main page at fantasydrafthelp.com. But I had him comfortably in the top 30 as I did last year, and I was like, I can't keep him in there after that Western Conference Finals. He's not one of the top 30 players in the league right now. Not when you
especially that Game 7. Oh God, that was brutal.
You can't be that big.
He was out there.
Yeah,
he looked like Tobias Harris out there.
Yeah. I mean,
you talk about a disappearing act.
Well, I mean, ironic in light of the team that they played in the finals, and we're talking a different kind of infamy, but that's like John Starks level of big game infamy. Now Starks had that happen from missing everything in the building that night, versus Holmgren just shied away from everything in the building. But still, the outcome. He didn't
shoot the ball. He didn't pass the ball. He didn't rebound the ball.
Yeah.
He didn't do nothing. He didn't even look at the ball.
Yeah.
He was out there getting cardio.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this. Free advice. Youngblood needs to go find a sports psychologist before next season. Like, he's got to sit on the. He's got to lay down on the couch and pour it all out to somebody, man. Yeah, because, like, it's all between his ears, because he's as talented physically as he was before. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is the same guy at one of these basketball camps that famously crossed up Steph Curry as a 7-footer. So, he is still somebody.
I mean, maybe that series or that game was an anomaly. We'll
I think
only
it was.
know.
You never
But-
know.
And they weren't fully healthy either. I mean, that's the thing. There's to me, there's a little bit of an
J
asterisk.
Dub was out, and
Had Williams
Mitchell was
played?
out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, not just.
That,
not
I
just,
think that was the one that hurt him
yes.
because they played most of the year without Williams.
Right.
Mitchell and the way he emerged and not having him, and it was like Shea can only do so much. Shea's gonna Shea. He's gonna do what he
Right.
do.
Right.
He gonna give you 31. Like
Right.
him walking on the court, like that's 31. Pencil him
Right.
in for that.
By
But without
the way,
Mitchell, it killed him.
It did. He had such a great emergence there. And when you're looking at the Oklahoma City backcourt, let me tell you something, man. If there are any fans in basketball that might want to invent a time machine, I think it might be Philadelphia fans to go back to the trade deadline here. If Mike Gansey could have been installed as the head of basketball operations, they never let go of Jared McCain. What was that about, Don? What was that about?
That was Daryl Morey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Like
there you go.
And by the way,
That's all you need to know.
and like
That's it.
a year ago tonight, okay? I mean, Edgecombe made me eat my words, but like if I was for Philly, I was like, you got to take Bailey. He's plug and play there. Edgecombe, now you have 3 guards. Well, Daryl Morey was like, well, we'll just give away one of our 3 guards, and then it won't be a problem. So oh my, okay, all right. This is we had a suspicion.
Yeah.
Nate Ament goes
Well,
to.
yeah, Memphis got picked.
I told you, Jimmy Haslam wrote that name on the
Yes. Put it on the board.
They was like, they made a deal with Jimmy. They was like, look, we gonna pick 10.
Yeah.
13 is yours.
Yeah.
That's how you got to negotiate with Jimmy.
Yeah. And that's I just again, no pressure. We just need you to replace Giannis, kid. I mean, and that's where I feel bad for him right off the bat. I mean, this is a tough set of circumstances.
That's a tough
Also, I have a
situation.
big lot of questions like, why is Mike Miller there?
That's an excellent question as well.
I mean, this is just they're
Is Mike Miller part of the Tennessee coaching staff? I have to assume this, right?
I guess.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, if anything is going to help increase his range, that'll help too.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's if he can become more.
I mean, I would say though too, Rick. Like this is based off of the trade. This is a long time coming.
It is, and I had him locked out at 10 based on the anticipation of a Giannis trade that they would be looking to fill a hole there with that spot. And so, but the thing is, like, I look at it and the whole theory of basically big 3 building of teams that some teams can do it with really, like 2, top level superstars. Most teams need 3. Like, I look at this Milwaukee team right now, and it's like, I can see Burries as part of a big 3. I don't know at the moment that I see him at that way. I think he's got to develop more. Like, would I rule it out? No, I wouldn't. But, I mean,
Rick, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Could this team hypothetically sneak into the play-in tournament in the East?
There's no way. There's no freaking
Milwaukee?
way. No. Not as presently constituted. I mean,
no.
It's just right. Well, right now, and again, look,
it's an honest question.
Look, today. This is a hell of a day to ask the question, right? Because like today, it's draft day, and they just made a mega trade, so the roster is inherently a grab bag. So we can't look at the roster right now and be like, I see the plan. There is no plan. It's a grab bag right now. What does it turn into? I mean, they got a pretty good coach. They got a coach who really did good down in Memphis there. And
yes, he did.
Yeah.
And I think he got a raw deal in Memphis. I think
so. Yeah.
They did him dirty.
They did.
I really feel like they did him dirty. I think Taylor Jenkins is a fantastic.
Yes. So that's going to help them. But Jenkins might be one of the, like, I mean, I hate to put this, don't put this evil on me, Ricky Bobby. I hate to do this, but I mean, is Taylor Jenkins going and taking this job? is he now the Mike Hargrove of the NBA of like, I'll just take this job then? Like, oh, bro, maybe you should have done a little more due diligence before you took that job. Like Hargrove's last couple of jobs were head scratchers.
I mean, to be fair,
maybe
you don't have a head coaching job in any timeline, so
I mean,
maybe not this gig.
Okay.
If he loses this one, maybe the next one down the line or the one after that. We'll see.
You got to hope you can get a third, though. I mean, it doesn't. It's kind of limited sometimes. So it's like you hope that him stepping into is something that's becoming a cesspool right now with Haslam's influence and all of these different things here, shenanigans. You hope that this isn't going to be poisonous enough that it sinks a bunch of reputations. But I mean, that's not off the table at this point.
I believe if Taylor Jenkins can come in and get this team 30 wins, like that's he's
I'm just gonna go out on the limb and say they're not that bad. That's all I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Like
we've seen some really bad Eastern Conference.
They do have I mean, you got Hero, the one player in this deal outside of Hawkes who I think is he might benefit a lot, but I think Khalil Ware might benefit the most out of everybody in this deal.
And also because Eric Spoelstra hated Khalil Ware this time for whatever reason. We will never know why, but
it's the same thing with Norm Powell, which I think they're definitely losing him. Dude made All-Star team and got benched. Like, how the hell? Like, what is going on? Like, was he eating chocolate chip cookies or what? Like, what the hell was going on down there? It makes you wonder.
But by the way, I have to give a shout out that I see from a comment on Facebook here, getting a shout out from the Talking Ball podcast, one of the OGs there, sending a shout out here, for the OGs of OGs Talking Ball podcast. So I believe that one goes to you, Ben. So that's your here. I will say this.
More respect from the team out there.
Well,
that's your tribe.
Well, and Don, this is like, you talk about the strangest statistic in human history, what Ben qualifies for here. Ben, by dint of having done a show with these folks and having done all these shows with me, Ben is the only person in human history that has ever done basketball podcasts with two separate HOA presidents. That's never happened before. Go find me somebody else, Don. Yeah.
Hey, you should make you a plaque for that. Get you a trophy.
I respect them.
That deserves a trophy, a medal, a plaque, or something.
I mean,
like that's a badge of honor right there.
To turn the narrative, we're going into the.
I need to ask our associate.
Charlotte pick.
Yes, and I need to ask our association manager if any of the other presidents that she works with do basketball podcasts. Because Ben, if so, I'm getting you booked. It's going to be 3 if I can find one. All right, Charlotte's up here, and
so they have 14.
We have a trade.
Really? Okay. This is
they're talking to that's the Miami Milwaukee. That's all. It's just
okay.
That.
All right. So this
is just making that.
And this one, this makes a lot of sense. This makes a lot of sense right here. And actually, did I have?
Ooh.
Okay. Well, I had Morris Johnson going there.
But from Washington for pick 14.
That makes sense because Don, I look at it and it's like you look at everything else that they got on the team at this point here. I mean, if they could just solidify the pivot a little bit more. You know, and I understand trading away Mark Williams. It made sense. They were able to get something for him, but still, like that's it. They're not in the same place Oklahoma City is success-wise, but it's kind of like how OKC is going to have to replace Hartenstein. I think they really are going to have to financially. With Charlotte, it's just like you need bodies here. Play the numbers game to get an upgrade in that spot. And Steinbach having the ability to play center helps.
This season did a fantastic job with the Hornets.
I do like this pick, and I do like the Hornets.
Yeah.
And I think they're only going to go up from here. They won't be in the play-in. Now, I can say they won't be in the play-in next year. They'll be in the top 6.
Yeah. Totally agree.
I believe they will be.
Totally agree. I was a little bit shocked that they faded at the end and didn't make it there. I actually
I was surprised. I was surprised and I was upset.
Well, I was
because and the reason is I wanted to see Charlotte and Detroit in the first round.
Oh yeah.
After all of the fireworks they had in the regular season, I was banking on that so bad. I wanted that really, really bad.
I'll tell you this, Don. When I did the picks going into the playoffs, I picked Charlotte to come out of the play-in round, and I picked them to beat Detroit in the 8-1 matchup. So
I wouldn't have went that far, but I wanted to see them match up.
And it was a thing where, and again, had it not been for the Cavs playing with their food as much as they did during the whole thing, the skepticism that I had about Detroit the whole season in the end played out. Because it's like this notion of like, and we talked about this on the show during the season, like the notion of like, well, this is a team that scores primarily in the paint, and it's like, that's kind of like being an NFL team where it's like, we think we can win the Super Bowl with so-and-so at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what that is. If it's like, okay, I know we can't really shoot that well, like, you got to really thread the needle if that's going to be the case. And it's very rare that teams thread the needle. I was just so confused that the national media seemed to be taking Detroit as seriously as they were and treating them like a legitimate number one. But then I will say this, an observation that Ben has made to me over the time, like, Rick, a lot of these folks don't watch that much NBA. They might be getting paid to watch NBA, but, you know.
They don't.
I believe it. I mean, it sounds fantastic.
I'm going to tell you why I was never confident in Detroit being a number one seed.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the JB Bickerstaff movie.
Yeah.
I lived that movie for 4 years.
Yeah. Is he? I mean,
this is my analogy of JB Bickerstaff is he's the hump coach. He'll get you to the hump, but he won't get you over the hump.
He's Marty Schottenheimer.
He got the Cavaliers to the hump.
Yeah.
Couldn't get them over it.
He's Schottenheimer, and we should have known that being Cleveland fans that we'd seen it before.
Well, Don,
I don't need any PTSD.
The regular season.
Yeah,
I just gotta state this. They were in terms of 3-point percentage in the league, 26.
Yeah,
come on.
You're not winning a title that way.
You're not winning a title.
And they got away with what they got away with in the first round because Orlando shoots as equally as bad, if not worse.
Yeah. And
how does their general manager still have a job and Jamal Mosley got fired? You put this bad shoot. How do you put together a team of that many bad shooters and still keep your job? Yeah. I never call for people's jobs, but some stuff I just got to call out. Well, I don't believe in people. Like, I don't believe in calling for people's jobs, but that there, and they thought KCP was going to do it.
Yeah.
And then they thought Desmond. It's like, y'all need more than one of them.
Yeah,
you need more than one Desmond Bain.
Yeah, they put all their eggs in the Bain basket, and it didn't work out. You know,
all
that's and that's
they had their injuries or whatnot, but they still was a bad shooting team. They were. Detroit, and Tobias Harris was a mirage.
Oh yeah,
I say he's gonna show up. He's gonna show up. He's gonna show up. And lo and behold, the real Tobias Harris showed up in the game 7.
Well, and but here's the thing. Here's where it seemed familiar to me because I like my FDH Lounge dignitary Joe Stazak back when he was doing terrestrial radio in Philly in the 2010s. Sometimes he'd be kind enough to have me on his show, and sometimes we'd be talking Cavs on there. And I remember like talking about the 2018 Cavs, and I'm like, it's a misnomer that these guys suck. But like what you said about Tobias Harris reminded me of it. It's like sometimes George Hill will be one of the best players on the court, but you just don't know when it's going to be. And this guy can be one of the best players. Like the 2018 Cavs, it was like, man, if everybody's playing their A game, we're going to win by 20 points. But like,
and George Hill proceeded to blow the free throw in game 1, which caused J.R. Smith to have a Henny brain fart.
Yes. Well, and like,
I blame George Hill for that.
The only
I don't even blame J.R. I blame George Hill.
Right, but like JR was one of those guys his whole career with his streakiness. So it's like that's the thing with Tobias Harris. Like you cannot count on like we have him as our secondary scorer going into the playoffs. Wonderful. If it's one of the 40% of nights when he shows up, then you're going to be good. But is 40% of nights enough to get you through a series?
I feel like it's an interesting question. So we know that deal with Milwaukee and the Heat is done. There was a rumor that Hero was going to go to Detroit. What would the thoughts have been at that time?
I mean, I think it's smart for Detroit. They can't afford to turn up their nose at any shooting. Yeah.
I'd have been upset if he would have ended up. Because as a Cavs fan, we'd have to deal with that.
Well, we'll just play him off the court defensively like we did last year. I mean, so there is that. I will say, too, just to bust your balls, Don, looking at your mock draft when you had Koa Pete going to Detroit, like what a fine amount of wish casting that was to have them take another below average shooter. This way, they'll never get anywhere.
And you know the funny thing about Tobias Harris?
Uh-huh.
He's one of the guys that honestly fits in Cleveland. I laughed so hard about that.
Right.
When I was down here doing all of my stuff, it was like looking at free agents and possible fits here. His name was the first name to pop up. I laughed for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But I am the way I am about him because I know he is a good player.
When he's
we're not going to disrespect Ty.
Disappears.
He is who he is.
He's like Rudy Gay. As good as Rudy Gay was and abilities that he had.
Yeah. He's a
sometimes
solid player, but he's not on that level. That's what
he'd be on the court and Dalen Swain.
Oh, okay.
To Chicago.
Okay.
Chicago Splitter got a couple of guys, huh?
Yeah, and that's where now I had him going Cameron Carr, but I was thinking largely the same kind of direction here. So it makes sense that they go in that spot as well. But that's where it's
I mean, Rick Swain there was rumors that he may be leading up in this draft a little bit.
Yeah.
I know the Knicks were they had a workout with him.
I had him going to the Knicks at 24. Yeah. I had Quaintance going in the spot here. I was looking at Don's mock draft. So I had Chicago going big then in doing that. This makes a decent amount of sense, but I had him going 26 to Denver. So yes, he has been rising.
I had Swain going to the Knicks.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. So he ends up going a little higher than either of us thought. And again, young pieces for the Bulls, they're in a weird spot because, like, I think much like Sacramento, much like Milwaukee, if we were still in a league next year that prioritized tanking, I think they'd still be in tank mode. The fact that it doesn't make sense for anybody at this point somewhat leaves them in, you don't want to be in that no man's land of you got one foot in both worlds, but they might because, like, the Bulls are just at this point, they still don't have enough. And it's like, I don't know, when you look at this roster, like they obviously think, and I think there's reason to believe that Wilson can be part of a big three that can be on a championship contender. I believe that. But then you look at the rest of the roster and it's like, I don't know, like, does Giddey profile as one of those guys? Like, I'm still a little skeptical that you would put him at that level, but I don't know. I can't really argue with what the production was last year. I mean, Buzelis is a guy.
Wayne is like No, go ahead, Don.
Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah.
Montas Buzelis is one of my guys. He's one of my guys. He's a league pass.
He's my guy too.
Okay.
He's one of my league pass guys. Like, Chicago's on. I gotta watch Buzelis. I love that kid.
Buzelis he is one of the hipster
I love
guys
that kid.
out
He
there.
got some.
Yeah. If you're watching a Chicago Bulls game, you're watching it from Buzelis.
Yes.
He's one of the favorite players in the league of the hipsters. Are you rocking skinny jeans when you're watching him play, Don?
No, absolutely not. I'm 43 years old. I'm not wearing those things, man.
Okay, all right. What about drinking a PBR? Drinking a PBR would count the same way. But that's where
I understand. To go back to the point though, it's like this happens every NBA draft, especially late in these rounds.
Yeah,
there's going to be someone that not a lot of people think are going to get taken early. They're going to get taken earlier. But Swain is an interesting prospect, especially with his size, and I believe his I'm trying to remember, like his wingspan's like 7'1", 7'2".
Okay.
So it's going to be interesting. He's an interesting prospect, but I do agree that he's being taken relatively early at this point.
Yeah, like that's a guy where you really got to squint to kind of look at him. Like, oh, that could be part of a big three.
Because the bigger thing with him, just in terms of that scenario, is like even he was at Texas, he did not shoot well.
Right.
He was a average shooter at that time.
Once again, he'll learn to shoot at the NBA level, I'm sure. So,
as we all
and this
know.
is the bad part with the NBA. Like they want these guys to shoot threes.
Yeah.
If they don't shoot the midi,
right.
What's the use?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Yeah, you got
to. This is why I'm such an advocate for getting analytics the hell away from the NBA.
It's in all sports, I will say it really can hinder watchability. Certainly, like baseball has probably been the worst offender with that in recent years as far as what it's done to the watchability, because it's led to the epidemic, I would say, of the uppercut swings. And it just too much all or nothing. I mean, I will say, in the NBA, the way that it's kind of worked out, and as much as, I hate to give credit to anything Golden State, but like I look at a guy like Kerr, and there'd been elements of this previously, and there was a little bit of that when he was there in Phoenix, of course, but to bring it all together as he did in Golden State, like at minimum, I think what we could probably all agree on is what he proved with the whole proliferation of the threes was that it was always stupid, but none of us called it on it. None of us realized it was always stupid to take long twos. And you'll notice that that's when Carmelo Anthony's career went down even before his legs got old, because he was Mr. Long Two. And then
Kevin Garnett.
Yeah.
There's like a 5-minute video of Kevin Garnett taking long twos. Literally starting from beyond the 3-point line, catching the ball, stepping in, shooting the 22-footer. From the top of the key.
Stepping in. That's my favorite part, is stepping in. Like,
literally. You
could have had the three, but you're like, I'm going to leave the extra point on the table. I'm going to step in.
I'm serious. They're out there. It's the funniest thing in the world to me, because he literally is calling for the ball at the 3-point line. He's stepping into the pass. And
he's literally like Don.
It's the funniest thing in the world.
3-point line, 2 inches.
It's almost as if he's doing it on purpose.
Yeah,
it's good stuff, man.
He's doing a shot that was like what Durant accidentally did. Remember the playoff game in Brooklyn where his foot was on the line?
Yeah, where he wore a shoe a half size too big. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, just a note for all the people who are watching for draft coverage, Bennett Sturts just got picked by Memphis.
Bennett Sturts, yes, who again going back to our critique previously.
Or what I would say, a very Memphis pick in that.
Very Memphis pick, and
that is a Memphis pick.
And
really
pre-show, Ben, Don and I were breaking down some of the fashion before the show here, and I commented that like Bennett Sturts looks like a very tall intern with his outfit.
That is a nice suit, though, by the way.
Yeah, it's a nice suit, but it's so basic that like he looks like a kid that's going to work in a bank over the summer.
Yeah,
he does look like.
There's nothing flashy about that suit at all. You sure you're playing in the right sports league, kid? That's not a flashy suit. But
no earrings, no chain, no watch. He might have a nice expensive watch on. Yeah, he does.
Maybe,
that's an expensive watch.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't want to hate
that's where it stops.
But I am not surprised that Memphis took it.
Yeah, I mean,
this strikes me as a very Memphis pick.
He fits in. I mean, is this anything of a hedge on a Morant trade, possibly? I mean
that's a good question. Yeah.
I'm
I know we
just
were
trying
in this
to
time with
figure out
Rand,
where
Julius Randle got traded, Giannis got traded. I know Ja has been on the market for a while now.
yeah.
We'll see.
it's just all a matter of where would John Morant get traded to. The
Well,
one
that's
place
it.
I want him to go now, I know he won't go, and that's Minnesota. I would love to see John Morant, Anthony Edwards in the same backcourt.
That would be pretty electric.
I would use this rule too, Don. I would love to see that.
That's a drew. I was
It
drooling
would be
thinking
so
about
fun.
that. Like, oh, yes, it would be exactly.
You want to see an all or nothing scenario? What about him to New Orleans? Put him with Zion.
Oh, well, I mean, they grew up together for the most part.
That's true.
You talk about the
Apparently, I
widest.
saw a report though, Rick. New Orleans.
And New Orleans is not a place you.
Whatever reason.
It's certain cities you don't want John Morant to be in.
No.
Chicago is one of them.
You don't want that. And
New Orleans is
Well,
another
like Minnesota.
one.
Yeah, it's Minnesota.
Yeah, send them to Minnesota.
Would it-
Minnesota is fine. Even Milwaukee, like, up there, yeah, you'd be all right up there.
would it be? Would New Orleans become the biggest variance team in the history of the NBA if they traded him there?
Possibly.
Like, really, anything could happen with this combo. You never know.
Possibly.
So,
I mean, but with those two knowing each other since kids, like that would fit. It would track. Like,
I
all right.
want to see
Yeah.
it.
I want to see Ant and Ja together.
Yeah,
I do. Selfishly, that's a selfish.
Yeah.
Like,
And-
man, just
So
the
Don,
thought of
even
that.
if selfish was like, I want to see it.
And
Well,
then also
for John to go, it would be Minnesota.
and then also with the possible expansion and the talks of Minnesota possibly moving to the Eastern
John,
Conference.
I like to get John and in the East. So
yeah.
Yes.
I get it.
There would be that. And then, see, this is one of these things, though, where
I
we
kind of
talk-
spoke that into existence too, by the way. I want to take a little
Yeah.
credit for that. Everybody was saying, "Oh, it's definitely going to be Memphis, or it's definitely going to be the Pelicans that'll move west." I was like, "Well, what about Minnesota? Because technically they're closer to the Central Division than they are their own damn division that they play in."
Watch them do something that really freaks us out. Because here's a little bit of a question. In 1979, when Ben won't like me saying this, but the previous version of the Oklahoma City Thunder, it was Seattle was in the Western Conference Finals. Who was in the Eastern Conference Finals that year? Well, it was San Antonio. So it's like, what if they're like, San Antonio used to be in the East? What if we did that?
Anything is possible now, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't it a time where the Bulls were in the West when they first got in the league?
Yeah. They, I think they played like the Lakers in a Western Conference Finals one year. So there was that. But like geographically, you look at it, like you could make a case for Memphis. You could make a case potentially for New Orleans because they have a strong sports rivalry with Atlanta and a bunch of sports here. And it's only going to get more pronounced now that Atlanta stole their lunch on this year's draft.
Oh, I was.
We have another trade.
Up and I'm like, so apparently the Grizzlies are trading with OKC.
Okay.
So the Grizzlies are receiving the 17th overall pick, and I believe a later pick. So Bennett Sturts is going to go to OKC.
And then this pick is going to go to Memphis.
Okay.
Wow.
Sturts, OKC, thus allowing for some more a handful of lineups.
Pops
Anyways,
them Skittles up.
Yeah.
All I have to say is I feel bad for Nikola Topic. I'm so sorry, dude.
Doesn't work out for him, but like
he has cancer. He probably ain't staying on that team.
Sturts going to OKC is interesting in as much as it's always been intriguing whenever they've put lineups out there where they've had SGA more so off the ball. They might be able to delve into that a little bit more potentially with Sturts there. So
I'm going to be very shocked if this is a Cameron Carr in this timeline.
It would
It would make logical sense for this to be Cameron Carr.
It absolutely would be. It absolutely would. Now, again, with him being sort of a pure shooting guard, like what is it like? What are the amount of minutes a game that you can play him and Coward at the same time? That's the only thing I wonder.
It's interesting.
And
I know we're talking about Carr because he was one that, and Don, I know we talk about this too in terms of like the NBA Combine. Like the initial timeline of the Combine, we all didn't give a shit. It didn't matter, honestly.
Right.
But in the last couple of years, we've legitimately seen a lot of great prospects play really well in the 505 drills.
I actually watched a lot of the Combine.
Yeah.
I didn't watch as much of it as I wanted to, but I watched enough of it.
Yeah. And that's my thing now, too, is like we talk about the NFL Combine, like the NBA Combine is not as relevant, but I feel like there's enough info now to understand a lot of these guys who are not early in the lottery at this time.
Yeah. And that's by the way,
really good players.
Not to be a gossip or a narc or anything, but has Phylon got pink eye? Like he got something going on there, man. Yeah.
Or he might have been working out and somebody might have poked him in the eye.
Maybe, yeah. Something happened there.
That's what I'm thinking.
There's this is we need to get to the bottom of this. Shades of like Hulk Hogan showing up at Mania 9 with the black eye. Like what's going on?
Wow. That's an interesting pick here.
Ooh, okay, you had him going 26 to Denver. This is a Corey going in this spot here.
Denver, yeah.
And I did not have him going in the first round. Man, they said this guy was a fast riser. Boy, oh boy, was he.
I mean, hell. 17.
Well, I will say too for Rick, at Stanford, he had very good splits overall. He's a 35% 3-point shooter. Had a couple of, he was averaging 21 over the last couple of seasons. He's an interesting prospect. And it kind of depends, and I think the big thing too we need to talk about too is like the potential for who's going to be the lead guard in Memphis right now. I know it's Scottie Pippen Jr. for a long time, but who is it now? Who do we know?
I don't think it's gonna be Scottie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
That's why I feel like this is a very interesting pick for them.
Yeah.
Because he's a very good player, but he's also undersized.
I mean, seeing him go over Phylon to me is surprising in as much as he was thought to be just a bit below when you're talking about that run of point guards that we were talking about earlier here too. He was thought to be sort of like nipping at their heels, clearly in back of all of them, but largely because it's such a strong point guard class. So there's always, we've had a couple of guys thus far tonight where they have risen up more than perhaps we expected. Going back to Morales Johnson at 9. Yeah. But there's an equal number of guys that fall, and that's the way that it goes too. So, and somebody that's a very, they're showing on TV some of the better players still available. Somebody that is a very, very high variance player in the first round is Kareem Lopez. Yes. And that's a guy, and somebody that has a chance. I think he would become the first ever first round pick from Mexico. Now, this is one where Don had him going as high as 12 at Oklahoma City. I had him going 25 to the Lakers.
And also courtesy to Don too, like there was a time where OKC was legitimately looking at him too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I mean,
they were looking for a guy who could be that flex defender.
And he's one of those guys.
Chance, like they couldn't keep Lou Dort over time.
Every year, there's a guy within a wide range wherever he goes, even if it's at the top or the bottom of the range, you could be like, okay, I'm not entirely surprised by that. So. But then some of these guys, it is surprising. Phylon should have been gone in the lottery. I think most people would have said. I think the way that Cameron Carr has been rising up, if he doesn't go in the next couple of picks, I think it would be surprising.
Yeah.
But you start to look at
it. I would say too, Rick, I would be very shocked if Phylon does not at least get selected by Detroit this time.
He would fit in very well. He really would.
It would make logical sense for them to take him.
Well, and that's the thing too, and I mentioned this in regards to another team previously, and it's slipping my mind who, but it's one of these things, Don, where like you put him in next to Cunningham. The fact that Cunningham can play point guard as a jumbo guy, you get like, somebody that's like a pure point guard next to him. And it's the thing where like
you can move him over.
Yeah, you play them together. And Cade, you have the option of using him as a secondary playmaker, or perhaps you use Philon that way, and then he can be the lead guy when Cade's not on the floor. It's interesting as far as giving them the potential for different looks. And again, he's a guy that generates offense better than, quite frankly, 95% of their roster. So that's you've got that as well.
At this point, it's Cade and then who?
Well, you hope it's one of those nights for Harris, as we said, and like beyond that, it was somebody where again, and
then you had Jenkins, which is funny in that playoff series. The one game I went to this year, the first Cavs Pistons game I went to, Jenkins had like 27 in the first half.
Yeah,
on the cat, like he just had one of those nights. You know, the NBA guys, like guys catch fire, like it can happen anytime. Like we've seen with the Cavs, we've seen Merrill catch fire. We saw Jalen Tyson go for 39 in Philly. We've seen Strus go 5 for 5, 6 for 6 from 3. Jenkins had one of those type of nights against the Cavs in the first half. It was like 24 or 27 in the first half. He didn't score in the second half because I think they were up pretty comfortably, or the Cavs had made a rally, and you know, JB and his rotations are kind of funky anyway.
Yeah. And on a personal note, he has become a guy who exemplifies what has become one of my most hated category of players in the league. Anybody that I deem to be a performative hustle guy, like that's what I think of when I think of him. And like other guys that I don't like Alex Caruso. You pair the headband with it. Oh, headband and performative hustle. And bald head, get out of here. That's like the trifecta of things that offend me. Peyton Pritchard, get the hell out of here with your performative hustle.
Peyton Pritchard annoys me.
Peyton, he should
annoy me. And it's not because he plays for the Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
He annoys me because nobody should hit that amount of buzzer beaters. I've never seen
as you know, anybody, I am based in Oregon in this timeline, and I was boring people like, why aren't you picking him? Yeah. He went to Oregon of all people. You can get him in the second round of all teams. Come on, man.
He hits 24-second buzzer beaters in the quarter, but it's like, all right, enough is enough.
That whole I'm sick of this dude. Management crew was like, no, we don't want that guy who literally went to Oregon of all places.
Well,
Oregon, literally,
Boston,
the university of the region. We don't want him.
Exactly.
We want to take a guy who, he's a project.
Boston is always one of those teams that has annoying-looking guys. I'll put Derek White.
They got
on
a
that
whole
list.
slew of them.
Yeah, like
Christian Anderson, Texas Tech.
I lump in Derek White, and you'll love the reasoning for this, Don. I theorize that he goes for the skinhead look because he's trying to pass so he can appeal to the racist fans in Boston. That's my theory about Derek White.
He didn't have much of a choice to go bald after Charles and Shaq roasted his hairline. It was like after that. The offseason, he came back, he was bald. It was like, yep, he saw it. The
that
internet
is true.
tore him up about it.
Do we have any thought on Christian Anderson?
Christian Anderson, this is a guy that's he's rising. He's been rising up.
I
believe
he was top 5 in NCAA in total assists.
Don had him going 23. I had him going 27. So this is another guy who's been rising up the boards here. Past where either one of us thought that he was going to go, although Don was closer.
Charlotte kind of makes sense as a table setter for the rotation.
Absolutely, yes.
What does this mean for Kobe White in Charlotte? Are they letting him walk?
I still think they're going to start him on some level. He'll be the number 2.
Oh, you think they're going to start Kobe White? That's interesting.
I can see it. You could do. If I'm being honest, again, Charles Lee came from Boston, so he has an opportunity to do this.
Right.
He literally could start LaMelo, Kobe White, Brandon Miller. If Bridges is still there, you can start Bridges, and you do Musa Diabate in that timeline.
And Knippers the 6th man. Sixth man.
I don't think Knupple's anybody's sixth man at this point.
Well, you can do Knuppel too, but I mean, we'll see. I don't know.
That's where, I mean, that's how CBS has got it right now, is Knuppel as the starter at shooting guard. But again, Ball with his height, this is another thing here. You could have this kid playing,
but like,
Anderson next to Ball.
He could be a guy that can be the biggest issue I noticed last year from Charlotte is that after Ball and Knuppel went off the floor, they did not have a true backup point guard
at all.
Right.
They did. No.
So
getting a guy who can help, create offense is not the worst thing.
No, not at all. And it makes sense for them, in that aspect here. And again, as we said before, a very, very, very intriguing roster, and one that we need to continue to keep an eye on, because I think we all agree that they are a strong candidate to end up next year in that spot.
Can I ask a general question, Rick?
Yeah.
Where do we think they end up at this time?
Top 6.
Now the Giannis trade is over and all these other trades are over.
I think they get the 6th seed.
Yeah.
I think 6 is
I think 6 is where they go.
Yeah, I could see that. I can absolutely see that being the case.
I'm gonna put them on my league pass list this year.
That makes sense.
Oh, Don, I do need to know, what is on your league pass list at this time?
I mean, Giannis, of course. LeBron, of course, is going to be on there. Those are the without sayings. OKC was on my league pass list, even though they're on national TV so much.
Yeah.
I mean, people are annoyed by them. I get annoyed sometimes because they do foul every trip down, but can't call them every time. Otherwise, we have 4-hour games.
Yeah,
true.
Who else was on my league pass? I mean, of course, Zion with New Orleans.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime Zion, like I'm one of those guys. Like, I'm stuck. Anthony Edwards, of course, is my guy. The Nuggets were on that list because Joker, Jamal Murray. I love Jamal Murray. Big Jamal Murray fan.
Denver is one of my favorite league pass teams. Period. They're just fun.
I thought the Cam Johnson deal would have turned out different for them. Even though Cam Johnson was on my Cavs wish list for like 3 years.
Sure.
Never materialized.
I think a lot of us were looking at it that way.
We have a trade involved.
Really?
So
okay.
The Pistons are going to get a Corey from Stanford. The Grizzlies are going to get the 21st overall pick and 3 second-round picks in that trade.
Okay. Wow.
And they be trading these second-round picks around. They're going to – the next collective bargaining agreement, like, they're going to cut that.
Yeah, probably.
These teams just throw second-round picks in these deals. Like, I think he got poked in his eye. That's what that looks like.
This is real, too. Like, just to go back to Aquaria, because we talked about him before, doesn't that make some logical sense for Detroit, though?
Possibly.
Because they wanted, like, a secondary playmaker, right?
Yeah, I could see that. He's one of those guys you can picture fitting in that spot. Absolutely. So you can picture that being the case potentially. And wow. There's a lot that's interesting about that, because we were not expecting that was going to be the case. We were not expecting that. But all right, as we're waiting for the next pick to come in here. All right, just going back here momentarily to let you know, a third hour brought to you in part by all of the following here. Poland's Law, based in Central Ohio. Poland's Law operates on a philosophy of innovation that is also accessible financially. Company founder Scott Polands implemented a system that provides excellent guidance in a variety of categories: small business, families, and individuals, and government-related issues. Find them on the web at polandslaw.com. Also, our good friends over at Caged Thunder. We'll take a look at this here. Okay, so all right, Caged Thunder MMA, and they are all righty. Caged Thunder MMA, the shining beacon of the Midwest fight scene, bringing more than 30 years of experience, which is built on passion, grit, and respect for competitors and the fans, whether it's in person or on pay-per-view. Caged Thunder provides the early look at tomorrow's household names. Find them on the web at cagedthundermma.com. And also for the third hour, we are also brought to you in part by our more good friends of ours here. So, all righty.
Got enough promo, Rick, or no?
Yeah, I'm
in case
oh,
for the people on the podcast, Alan Graves
yes.
went to from Santa Clara, just went to Toronto.
Yes, and all right, last one here, and then we'll get back to the analysis here. Uno momento here. This was the hit of the NFL draft one here, Ben, as you remember late in the night here. Epic swagger. Epic swagger is what? Yes. Epic swagger is what you need when half-hearted attempts at personal improvement have fallen short. Philly sports legend Joe Stazak built an alliance of elite coaches that is not a fitness company, but rather a transformational movement. They instill the principles of discipline and excellence by rooting the work in self-belief, purpose, and authenticity. It's not arrogance, it's assurance. It's not vanity, it's viability. It's vitality, rather. It's not loud, it's locked in. Swagger is when your energy speaks before you do and your actions echo long after you leave the room. Find them on the web at epicswagger.com and also check out Epic Swagger on Substack. So, all right, yes. So, in the meantime, here, had some picks go by here. And so, rewind for us, Ben, on what just happened.
No, so Alan Graves just went to Toronto. He's one of those guys who did benefit from the combine, but we'll see. He's a big question for a Toronto team that's still very, very young and does not have a lot of rotation spots this time.
He rose up and try not to throw rotten vegetables at him, Don, but he's an analytics darling.
All right, no tomatoes.
Yeah, Al Kersen, he was the West Coast Conference Freshman of the Year. Right?
Yes, he was.
He's an interesting guy. The bigger question with Toronto is, like, I don't know where he fits because their bench has a lot of guys very similar to him. So,
yeah.
He seems like he's one of Toronto has a lot of the same.
He may be one of those dudes who plays really well at summer league and may find his spot somewhere.
Well, yeah, I mean, seeing him in summer league is going to be an interesting kind of a thing here because, again, like you said, Toronto's got a lot of kind of interchangeable guys. We saw that in the playoffs. We saw when they were playing the Cavs, and it's an odd kind of.
Some of them guys look like something that they weren't.
It's a mixed bag.
It made them guys a whole lot of money.
It is, yeah, and that's. When you're talking about though, some of the guys that they had really invested some draft capital in, one of the guys that again very, very, very absent in the playoffs here because he's pretty much played his way out of any type of a situation here. Grady Dick, you didn't really get to see much of him. So not only, so it's one of those things.
This is not a true rumor.
Okay.
But I was talking with a good friend of mine who is very cued into the NBA. He may be one of those guys who may see in the deadline next year.
Okay. Because, I mean, his forte would be, the floor stretching and whatever, as opposed to, it was never going to, the strength of his game was never going to be, Dick takes it to the hole or anything like that. I mean, that was not what you were looking at. It was more so if he could hit from outside. But,
I mean, to be fair, Dick can only take it to the hole so many times.
That's true. That's true. You're not going to have Dick flying down the lane that much. That's not going to be, that's not the way that the offense is brought up in Toronto.
It's like, I do think Grady Dick is a very good player in today's league. The big thing is that in his rookie season, Darko Rock, I keep blowing his last name.
Call him Darko.
In his year one, he played him a lot. He really did.
Yeah.
He played him like 22, 25 minutes, and then in year two, he dissipated to 15, 16.
Yeah.
And when the team was playing well, he essentially forgot he existed on the roster at some point.
Yeah.
I honestly forgot he existed on the roster. I thought he was injured.
No, perfectly healthy, but they didn't play him. Yeah. And, begs the question why. And, it's
also, I do have to ask because I know we're getting close to San Antonio's pick. This has to be LeBaron this time. It has to be, right?
hey,
I feel like it has to be.
I was going to say that.
Pylon. I feel like this is the right pick for San Antonio. You want a table setter, or I mean, Cameron Carr is also there too.
I mean, the way they love international players, I was thinking Lopez. I mean,
Lopez is up there too.
You know, Lopez being a little bit of a high variance prospect.
There's like a lot of these guys who are at the tail and at the tail end of the lottery are dropping right now.
I've got them taking.
A lot of these guys are really good players too. I'm just going to note this right. They're very good players.
I got them taking. Well, my pick was Cameron Carr for this spot. Yeah. So, you know, but that's Don said Kane Tunts would be for the pick here. Yeah. So, you know, either one of us could still be right. You got Detroit on deck with the pick afterwards.
Really is on deck after. Well, I will say, Cavs pick, Rick.
Gonna get a Cavs pick, and again, I'm liking the fact that I'm trying not to be judgmental here and say that any of the picks we've seen thus far are necessarily reaches, but there have been some surprising ones as far as the projected value. What that means is there's going to be nice value dropping down here, and it can only hope in my unbiased heart of hearts, I certainly hope that it reaches 29 with the Cavs.
And don't show him yet.
The something that I hope I can speak this into existence. I hope that I can manifest this. Certainly, good friend of the show, Maya Master, is a great believer in manifesting things here. But in the mock draft that I did, I do have Joshua Jefferson going to the Cavs. Yeah. And I think he would be.
I do want to also know, too.
He's on my wish list.
I know San Antonio's pick is not done yet, but this would not surprise me to be Chris Senac Jr. either.
Okay.
He was on my
wish
list.
Would not surprise me.
Yeah.
It seems like a guy that San Antonio would want after the amazing season they had.
Yes, and Senac, much like Carr, we were joking about this, both of the CCs, really kind of rose up at the combine. Both of them really, really did well.
And like I mentioned to her, it's like, legitimately, as we all love the NBA, we've watched this forever.
Right.
The last 3 years of the combine were the first years we all paid attention to the combine.
Yeah.
In prior years, we all did not care any whatsoever.
Well, because you knew most of the teams didn't care. So how are we going to care? Oh, Don nails it. Don nails it. Here we go.
Hey.
All right. This makes sense because it's a thing
not
where.
Bad for me. Not bad for my first public mock.
That's
I want you to talk about Jaden Quintons right
now. I mean, questions
He's
about
Kentucky guy, SEC guy. Like I'm like. Across sports, like SEC to me is it, and it don't get no tougher,
right?
And this guy like is athletic as hell.
He is,
and he fits right with.
Yeah. Well, my big thing with him is 6'10". He's not even 20 yet. That's all I need to know. If in the NBA level, like barely 20. He played really well at the University of Kentucky. He could be an impact guy. I could see why San Antonio took him just to build up that roster behind Wemby in the backcourt.
I don't think this has ever happened in real time before, but like watching him play there, I'm experiencing the Mandela effect in real time. Like, didn't he play in the finals against the Knicks?
I mean, one of the big things with him, and we also know too when he was at Kentucky, he's a shot blocker. He gives me, I don't want to say this name because it's a completely different era. There's a little bit of Montrezl Harrell vibes.
A little bit.
He has the ability to get out there, make shots, shot block. I know Montrezl Harrell wasn't exactly the greatest NBA player in that time.
Right.
He was very impactful on those rosters.
And again, you got to hope that his back. I think his back holds up.
And I don't blame San Antonio for taking this right now because that's what they want. They need protection around Wemby.
What do you think, Ben? Don, what do you think about the fit?
Like him come to the team, he don't have a lot of pressure on him because pretty much their top 7, 8 are solidified.
Yep.
Like so. Whatever he needs to develop to keep himself in the league, like he got a little bit of time.
He does.
They're not asking him to come in and score a point.
And one thing I'll also note too, and I think Don, you may agree with me, when we were watching the Spurs in the finals, like they didn't have that guy who was in the paint fucking things up
at all.
They did not.
I thought that would have been Keldon Johnson, but
yeah, but
what an egg did he lay?
And I feel like with Quinn, he may be that guy.
Yeah, and that's where. But there's a little bit with San Antonio that in a completely different way that there also was with Detroit, as far as like neither of them was supposed to be as far along as they were this year. So it's kind of like you're rolling with what you got kind of a thing. And that kind of, I knew there was a point I had in my head before about Harris. Like they got Harris in what was a salary dump from Philly. And it was a thing of like, okay, well, we're just a young up and coming team. We need a guy to come in here and fill minutes and whatever. Like Harris was never meant to be like, oh, he can be the second option on a team that's a real contender. Like that's what happens sometimes when you get a little bit ahead of yourself as far as what your record is. Then you're stuck with like, oh, okay. And that was the case, I think, a lot more so with Detroit than it was with San Antonio. But you also saw it with San Antonio. San Antonio was not a team that was built to have, you know, that kind of presence in the paint in the finals because they were probably thinking justifiably so. Well, we'll take care of that part in the next year or so or whatever when we're on our contention timeline. Little did they know at the beginning of the year this was their contention timeline.
Oh, boy.
So, you know, first world problems though when you're growing too fast. You know, that's where you want to be.
You got an alien. You got a 7'5" alien there, like
yeah, and that's where. But like. And I did see, and I saw like there was a couple of like old timers that I saw commenting in a Facebook group during the finals of like they shouldn't have a guy like Wemby shooting threes, and I'm like, why the hell not? Like it's the next evolution of the game. It's what separates him from everybody else. There have been guys that have had, you know,
my guy asked me, who are these people?
Old timers.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with them at 7'5". No more, and I feel the same way with Evan Mobley. He should shoot no more than 4 or 5 threes a game.
But I almost think if Mobley was more of a floor spacer, that could be something that would be helpful to him. But like,
I mean, Mobley does it out of necessity because you have somebody who occupies the paint.
Right.
But with Wemby, you're 7'5". You shoot 4 though. You shoot 1 a quarter. Everything else should be foul line in.
But here's the thing, though, Don, is that, again, if you could, I mean, if he can get to be, and I think Ben and I have kicked this around over a period of time, and I think we've kind of settled on like 350, 360, that's sort of like the median for what you're looking for, probably the minimum of respectability. But like if Wemby gets to be like a 380, 400 guy over the course of his career, you think about how segmented basketball is, that like even the greatest point guard in the world doesn't, if you're the greatest shooter, passer, whatever, what are you not going to be? A great rebounder or whatever. Like there's nobody hardly in the history of basketball that checks every box because the positions don't call for it. Like Wemby can literally be a guy that checks every box in a way that nobody in the history of the game ever has before, because of his defensive presence and everything that he brings, the ability, if he can become a guy that can consistently, and I believe that he can, and he's already somewhat there partially, score from anywhere on the floor, that's the ultimate separator to me.
I agree to a point. I'm still right at that size. You don't need to be chucking up 3.
I mean, look, and I get it if it's
I don't mind them shooting them.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a lot of them. 4, 5, 6 of them a game. That's it. That should be. But again, we're in this analytics era.
Yeah.
And this is this is fascinating. When I said before,
that's an interesting
wide variance on where this guy could go. I don't know how many people were mocking Kareem Lopez to Detroit.
Yeah,
but
that will be interesting.
I mean, to my knowledge, I mean, unless I'm missing something right now, he's not a guy that is going to come in and make any kind of a real positive impact on their shooting from outside.
Well,
So as far as, you know, what they need the most at this point in time, I don't really
Second
get the sense.
Mexican-born player to be drafted. Eduardo Nahara was.
Nahara.
But I think he's the first in the first round, right?
In the first round, because Eddie was second
Nahara
round.
Yeah.
But good for Kareem Lopez. I mean, the Pistons, he's a defensive guy, so it logically makes sense.
He fit that. Yep.
But he's still very raw, though, out of courtesy. He is very raw. I know he played in the NBL at one point, so we will see.
Very raw. He's going to get sued by Holland for gimmick infringement.
Yeah. I think the bigger question is, look, I was reading enough today within Reddit and my own sources was like, Libera Phylon is dropping. Someone has to get him right at this period of time.
Yeah, I mean, we're dating ourselves as we say this, but kind of the Aaron Rodgers of this year's draft, or Brady Quinn if you prefer. I still remember that one at the old Shula's Steakhouse in Independence. We were there for that one in 2007 on the old late lamented Sports Talk Network.
Well, at one point too, it's like he was, unless I'm mistaken, in the top 5 of point guards taken period.
Yeah,
and he has now fallen to this level at this time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he was always supposed to go behind Brown, Acuff, Flemings at all. He was not supposed to go behind some of these other folks. He's not supposed to be going behind Christian Anderson or some of these other folks, with all due respect to them. But it's a thing where there's going to be some happy teams. And again, much like with the NFL, you get into the 20s, and then it's like, oh, these are the real contenders. I mean, except for teams that acquired these picks in a trade, you could still be a suck team that acquired one of these picks, but this is the most contender-heavy area of the draft, obviously.
And also,
you got guys falling.
Just for a context rate, so I saw more about that trade for Bennett Sturts. So Sturts went to OKC, and Akama went to Memphis?
Okay,
not Memphis, but Detroit, and then Memphis received that pick at 21, and then they also received 6 second-rounders.
Wow. Okay.
Or 5 second-rounders.
Yeah, that's coming out. They're not going to keep allowing them to keep throwing these second-round picks around like this.
Speaking of second-rounders, though, you know what I miss? This used to be they used to be so disrespected that like Dan Gilbert would just like write a check for $3 million or something. Like he did that a couple times.
That's part of the narrative.
You used to be able to just buy them. And I remember looking at this like, what kind of
look, I'll use this rule. I am not mad, but I am happy that they split the NBA draft to 2 days. It's okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because now a second rounder or a potential multiple time most valuable player won't get drafted during the Taco Bell commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna be wearing out
Good
my
job,
thumb.
y'all.
I'll be wearing out my thumb between round 2 and Dynamite tomorrow night. But when you're looking at the guys that are going to be dropping, there's going to be some happy contenders here. When you're looking at
Rick, if you even remove Philly, like the next 2 picks after that is Atlanta and the Knicks.
Yeah.
So I would say Atlanta and the Knicks don't need any more talent at this time.
Yeah, I mean, and that's where
they're going to need to replenish because they're going to lose a couple of guys. They're probably going to lose Clarkson. They're probably going to lose Shamet. They're probably going to lose, what's the one guy's name who I didn't know who the hell he was when he came. I was like, who is this dude? They might lose him because Dolan is like, I'm not going into the second.
I mean, I'll put this on. If
I'll lose Mitchell Robinson because of that.
Drafted in this timeline, I could totally see the Knicks taking him as like a hypothetical backup if Mitchell Robinson doesn't resign.
Right. But like some of the players available in the 20, I mean, it's not just Phylon, it's Carr, it's Senac,
Isaiah Evans.
Isaiah Evans, I was just about to say, like I had him. Yeah. I had Evans going to the Pistons. Boy, am I glad that didn't happen. But
is it in range for the Cavs, Rick? Is it in range now?
I mean, like, this is not the area of need necessarily, but like if you're the Cavs and you're a couple picks away from
Well,
I'll
notice too, Rick, is
like
in comparison to last year, I feel like everything was very by the book at the tail end of the draft.
Yeah.
And now it's getting very interesting in this draft now.
But this is where the value gets snarfed up. You're gonna see everybody out there hoovering all the draft value that's been left out there. So this is where and again,
and I would use this real trick if I was trying to be a contender. I am doing everything in my power to trade up to the end of this draft.
Yeah,
because this is a very deep draft.
Honestly, yeah. Like if you're the sweet spot would be if you're sitting there and like I'm gonna have to look and see if there's anybody that fits the bill. But I mean, if you're a team that's got like a couple of relatively early second round picks, like this is where you could just be like a pig in slop right now. Like I'm looking to see, and like there aren't. It doesn't look okay. So San Antonio's got the 42nd pick and the 35th. That's not going to be enough to get too much.
Yeah,
because I think teams are going to perceive that there's going to be a drop off. Wow, fly on to the Sixers.
Yep.
I mean, they focused in on them
last
4 minutes.
I mean,
wow.
Like,
I mean, the big question with them last year was who was backing up Maxey. So
you have your answer now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to date myself here. Does he become the Vinny Microwave Johnson of this backcourt?
You never know.
You know what? When I think of instant offense off the bench, I always go back to Vinny Johnson.
Yeah. But
even though there were other guys who came after him, I always go to Vinny Johnson. Like that's the name.
It is, and he's the quintessential.
They still got smoke,
guard.
y'all.
Yeah. they haven't burned through it yet.
I mean, I guess there'll probably be no smoke for the second. Somebody went jewelry shopping.
I think they got leftover smoke from the White House from the UFC event, but
I do like the hats and I like the accessory on the hat.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
But I'll say do it for Phylon's sake. It's like this is a great place for him to go at this time.
I think so. I'm looking at it like now the fact that he's 6'4". If you squint hard enough, you can probably picture him getting some decent minutes next to Maxey as well as next to Edgecombe. So yeah, I mean that's where the Vinny Johnson dynamic can come in. Like if this is a guy who can seriously hoover up some minutes at both positions and play with those guys, then yeah, this works out well. Because I mean. And again, if I'm Philly, I still like to have a small forward. I'd still like to have somebody in that spot there. But like, look, I said a year ago it should have been Bailey over Edgecombe, and thus far Edgecombe has made me eat my words. Although Bailey, with all due respect, I don't know that we have necessarily seen the best of him, and he had a pretty good year in Utah as well, even if it wasn't a spectacular.
Yeah, in spite of all of his representation stuff.
Yeah. And it doesn't always work out that way, but sometimes you're better off taking the kid that has kind of given you the body language that he doesn't want to be there. Because, you can't always get to a spot of where you make it work out. But Utah, again, I will say this, like Utah, I believe passed on. Did they pass on Knuppel to make that happen? I think they did. I think he went before Knuppel. So you look at it like you probably couldn't lose either way on that one, really. I don't remember the exact order, but, you're in a good spot either way, regardless with that pick. And again, and I'll say what I said before, too, that like Utah, they're making the play-in as a minimum. And I mean, if I was to, make out my predictions right now for the season, I mean, I might have them grabbing either the 7th or 8th seeds. Like we've seen this in the West the last couple of years, first with OKC, then with Houston, then with San Antonio. Like young teams.
Somebody's going to make a jump.
Yeah. And like, this is a thing where I always complain about this here in the the Cleveland area, years and years and years and years ago. So it's been known for decades that there have been fixed races for decades at Northfield Park, the harness track here. Okay, so I bet on a horse one time. I was like, how is this horse such a long shot? Oh, look at and like it was like way out in front after one lap. And I swear to God, the driver like strangulated the damn thing, and it finished like fifth. Okay, that's what was happening with Utah last year. Utah
this
was
is why I don't bet on horses and none of that stuff.
Yeah, well, like especially harness, buddy. Harness is the stuff that can really be rigged a lot more easily. But it's like that horse is the equivalent of what happened with Utah last year because they had way too much talent to be that bad. And it's a thing too, where I think even previously, like even when Sexton was there and whatever, like they didn't have like high level star power, but it was always like, this team is not nearly as bad as their record.
You look at it on paper, it looked better than what they showed. And that's right. Again, Danny Ainge playing the game.
And what you'd
Danny
look at
Ainge doing Danny Ainge stuff.
Yeah, like you look at Utah's roster and you're like, this is a 30-win team. And then they'd win like 17 games. Okay, there was shenanigans afoot here. So first and foremost is we take our thumb off the scale with Utah this year and have them go for it. And then it's just like, yeah, you put this kid in the mix and it's like, man, like, and they're not this year what they're going to be, but like you can see a scenario where in the years to come, we're talking about, OKC, San Antonio, and Utah in the West. You can easily see that now with what they're putting together. I mean, that's just the upside on some of the kids that they have there. Yeah. Because I mean, I think Peterson, I would have had to Bansell 1 overall, but this is one of these years where like between 1 and 2, you can't go wrong. And what was the last year we said that? Probably 08 when it was Oden and Durant. That year you wanted to be 2.
I think I can remember being one of the people who said that Durant should have went 1. And people are like, no, you got to go with Oden. He can't miss. He's this.
Well,
but
the way that anybody can miss is.
But people took that. People took that for me. Look, but people took that for me disliking somebody that went to Ohio State. Yeah. That was that whole era.
Well,
I was like, hey, man, y'all see this guy. I mean, and here we are almost 20 years later, and KD is still playing, and Greg Oden hasn't played in 15 years.
Well, there's always a caveat that can't miss. And the caveat that can't miss is if you're not available, you're going to miss. Yeah. And that's the whole thing, too, with Oden, that he just fell apart physically. Which appears to be the curse of the Portland centers over the last couple of decades. But they're showing the Hawks draft room on TV here, and again, they got to be happy because like whatever happens here, as we said, there's a couple of guys that they probably
also. I gotta say though, Rick Morris, the Hawks draft headquarters, kind of looking just like a random conference room anywhere.
Okay, but like. Were you expecting them to
look like Magic City?
I was going to say, were you expecting them to have a table at Magic City? What were you expecting?
I was expecting somebody to have on one of those Magic City hoodies that they didn't get to sell.
That's right.
It's like that's the conference room for the Hawks GMs. Like, come on, man. I've seen better.
Wow.
They got money.
This is fascinating.
Ooh.
And Zuby Zoo to the Hawks.
Zuby. Yes.
Wow. Not in
He's also been rising up the draft board as an undersized big man.
Not in the first round projections for either Don or myself.
No, my.
And I'm looking to see too, like where. Wow, I had him as like the 9th rated center in the draft. So this is they see something I'm not seeing. So, but again,
who down in Atlanta got a line in on Rick Pitino? Gotta be.
Maybe.
Who know Rick down there?
Yeah, gotta be somebody. But the Hawks are another one of these teams, right? Where it's like throwing bodies at the center position, in the chance that one of these guys is going to help you upgrade. So
God, why do I have to look at
this? Is just, I mean, It might be
overkill. They don't do this. They never do this.
It might be recency bias to say the absolute most execrable fan base in sports, but
This
just
is overkill.
Yeah.
And then they in Brooklyn doing this. We know who paid for the smoke. See, this is Jimmy Dolan paying for the smoke.
Yeah.
See?
To be fair, there was a lone Portland Trailblazer fan there out of courtesy.
That's the one thing I enjoy at Cavs games is finding random team jerseys at games.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Also,
if you ever find a Kevin Greavy Bullets jersey, give me a picture.
Unshockingly. I'd be very shocked if this is not Chris Senack Jr. here.
I mean,
it seems like a very need-filled pick for the Knicks.
And honestly,
they could go Cameron Carr too. I'm not going to disregard that.
You talk about somebody being luckier than they got a right to be. I mean, if they take Senack here, then they're still going to catch flack from the fans, but letting Mitchell Robinson walk away gets a lot easier if you take Senack with this pick.
And it's not even this year. It's like they're protecting themselves hypothetically here.
Yeah.
Because if there was a guy to help replace Mitchell Robinson, it would be Chris Senack Jr.
Yes. I mean, better to be lucky than good, as we saw with them during the playoffs here. But could be an example of that again. Looking at who some of the other picks could be. I mean, Carr potentially as well, but I don't know that Carr.
There may be a trade.
Okay.
I think there is a trade.
Report a trade.
Well, so the Lakers want to come up a spot.
I am just seeing a trade is being announced.
Well,
I still don't know how Rob Pelinka has a job.
Interesting. I'm going to assume they're probably flopping picks then.
That's what it seems to be. Yeah. Now, they can't make the pick that I had them making because I had the Lakers taking Kareem Lopez. However, Don had them taking Isaiah Evans. Are they moving up to try to make sure they get Evans? Yeah. Could be that they're because again, there's Evans, there's Carr, there's Senack, there's how many guys our team's probably moving up to get at this point.
One thing I could see here, I may be wrong, but Koa Pete is also on their radar. So
okay,
I would not be surprised if this is a slight trade up for Koa Pete right here.
But
and I'm going to guess if this is a trade, just a 1-for-1. But if I had to guess, though, Rick, this is probably going to be Isaiah Evans.
Let me tell you something.
I'd be very shocked if this is Isaiah Evans.
I want to play heads up, high dollar Texas Hold'em with Rob Pelinka. If he thinks he has to trade up to get Koa Pete from the Knicks, okay? I want to play poker with this man.
How does he still?
Maybe
the Luka trade is why he still got his job. Maybe him finessing Nico out of Luka is why he still has a job.
I mean, finessing Nico. I mean, I saw kids take lunch money from some of the special ed kids back in school back in the day. I don't know how much skill that took. So, I don't know. You might be giving him credit for something that any of us could have done, Don. So, that's, I'm just saying. Somebody had to be the bad guy here. I'll say it.
That was a good one.
Thank you.
Great. That was fantastic.
I just don't know how much credit we can give anybody for that one because the fact that Nico didn't want to start a bidding war. Are you kidding me? You're just going to limit it to one team? So, all right. So the Knicks are going to make the pick for the Lakers. I mean, I will laugh my nuts off if it's Koa Pete. If the Lakers thought they had to get past the Knicks to take Koa Pete.
I'm going to assume unless something is crazy here, it's just a flop of a pick and a future second rounder.
Probably, yeah. I mean, how much compensation could it be?
I would not be surprised. This could be Cameron Carr.
Okay, it is Cameron Carr. Yeah. And that's okay. All right. So I mean, are we in agreement then? I mean, the Knicks must be locked in on Senack to let Carr go by. Okay.
Yeah.
One of the CCs was going to be coming their way. And again, and this is kind of I mean, I know they got Austin Reeves there and whatever, but like when you're the Lakers, you kind of got to go best player available at this point. Like even if you get like you got a little bit of a glut in the backcourt, obviously a big glut, I guess you would say, and the rest of the roster needs smoothing out here. But like, yeah, this.
But we also know.
Oh, we got another Nepo kid.
Jared Vanderbilt.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I mean, it's not a deep team in that respect.
Man, even Goldberg is going. How are they going through so much of that dry ice tonight? What's up with that? But that's
you know James Dolan paid for that. He paid for dumb stuff.
Oh, probably, yeah.
That's definitely Dolan.
Yeah. So I mean, look, I can think of a lot of areas on the Lakers roster that need it more, but they need high end talent, and this kid has a chance to ascend into that. I think. I mean, that's. Again, there's a number of players that have been taken.
I think, Rick, if we saw enough of him at the combine, that he could be a low-end rotation player, worst case scenario.
I mean, I think that's where he starts, but like as far as where he finishes up, again, you haven't heard me say this about too many players past the top 10, but when you look at like who could be part of a big three on a championship contending team. I mean, I think he could be the third guy on a really good team. I think so. And to get a guy like that at 24, that's.
I mean, we'd make the argument he's probably the best athlete in this draft outside of the Vance.
Yeah, and he just, again, he really wowed people at the combine, and just, again, he's got a great physical tool set. I think he can, shoot pretty good, which is important.
In his jeans. Hey, I was here.
Remember really? This? Okay.
I remember this.
Oh wow. Okay.
Lost the bean. Rest in peace.
Oh wow. Okay. So
that would be wrong for me not to mention this too. His dad is Chris Carr, as we all know, the former Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah. So they're just showing some stuff here on TV, and that is.
He comes from a basketball family.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
so he actually might turn out to be like, because a lot of times, like the star kids don't be that good, but like the guy who played in the league for a few years might turn out to be one of them.
Might turn out to have a really good kid. Sincerely, Winston Garland.
Sincerely, Joe Jellybean Bryant.
Yeah, true that. So
Dale Curry. I mean, but we love Dale.
I mean, I wish he'd have gotten the vasectomy before stuff was born, but I did. I liked them a lot back in the day. Because I did. In all seriousness, I liked them a lot back in the day because he was that this is when it's like in the early part of the 80s, like there was a 3-point line, but it might as well have not existed. You start to get to like the late 80s, and like Del Curry was a novelty. And it was like, he was like kind of a cult hero with the Cavs. It was like, they got a guy that can shoot 3-pointers. It was like, we weren't used to seeing that. It was like a circus trick or something.
Also, trade is now in. It's officially a swap of picks and cash going to the Knicks.
Okay. Well, and, again, smart move for the Knicks. If they had decided Carr wasn't their guy. I mean, if they gambled, if they wanted Carr and gambled that they weren't going to, that he would drop, then that's not smart, but that's probably not the case.
I'm going to be very
Did they think the Lakers wanted him?
Yeah, I mean, that
makes logical sense.
I don't know if they had an idea who the Lakers wanted, but particularly if they end up taking CNAC here, then we can be reasonably sure that they were reasonably sure that the Lakers didn't want CNAC.
And I'll note too, Rick, there was discussion about a couple of days after the Knicks parade that Dolan did not want to spend into the luxury. It's like the second apron.
This is your get out of jail free card right here. Money. This is it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And which by the way, would have been stupid if not for having the opportunity to do this. But because again, they have a limited shelf life as far as like the age of their players, whatever. Keep it going right now. Double down. Don't worry about that stupid crap. It goes to what I said before about what I've always loved about Dan Gilbert is he's always believed in putting the effort in financially to back up the star level talent there. You have an obligation to your fan base not to do this. Dolan's relatives, the other Dolans who run my godforsaken favorite baseball team, they're a perfect example of crappy owners who won't do that.
And Rick, I'll notice too, at least for the Knicks in this timeline, Cameron Carter makes some level of sense, but doesn't on a lot because they got guys in the backcourt like Alvarado and McBride. So.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't think that he would have been the pick there because you would like. I just for Cenac to drop to them, especially with the kind of combine that he had, where we were all like, "Oh, he's definitely going before 18 or 20." Like for him to drop to the Knicks, like.
Yeah, I didn't think he would fall this far.
How does make too much sense?
How does the luck heater keep going even after the playoffs for them? Right? Is there no end in sight?
Because Rick, I hate to say it sometimes, NBA teams are dumb.
Yeah, because like
they are.
They're gonna they're gonna let Robinson walk and arguably come out ahead. I mean, I can't even believe I'm saying this, but. Maybe inarguably when you factor in that the kid's on a rookie deal. But I mean, just as for like his ceiling is higher than Mitchell Robinson's, to be sure. So, I mean, this in no sane world should this be allowed to happen. So we can only hope that the Knicks are instead eyeballing Coapete or somebody else. But I'm not sure we're going to get that lucky, gents.
I don't think it's happening.
Yeah, no, I don't think we're going to get that.
Yeah, they're focusing on Chris. So
they are, and that's the way that it's going to end up being probably here. So the announcement to be made, and I am dutifully studying the closed circuit captioning here. And all right, so Oklahoma City. All right, so that's being announced that they are getting Sturts and 16th with the 16th pick. Pistons getting the draft rights to Corey.
Pick it up.
15th pick. Memphis acquiring the draft rights to Kareem, the 21st pick. That makes more sense than Kareem on Lopez on the Pistons.
Yep.
Delara. Okay. Okay.
Well, this is a guy who was talked about.
Draft. Look at them. They don't even know who the hell he is.
No.
They're just cheering because the camera on them. I know that trick. Can't fool me.
Yeah.
I've been to enough draft parties to know.
Yeah.
When the camera's on you, you just cheer.
Just to give some level to Sergio Aguilar, he is a guy who was in the early second round who's been rising. He's playing for Valencia 2025 bench. ACB best young player. Great shooter. Can move the ball. Again, it's still very early for him.
Just knowing Knick fans' paranoia about foreign players, I'd love to be at the draft thing there tonight just to go up to Knicks fans and shake their hand and say, congratulations on getting the next Frederick Weiss.
Remember how they acted when they drafted Porzingis.
That's right. Congratulations.
Michael Rappaport went on a whole... I don't even know what to call that rant. I don't know whether to call it racist. I don't know if he was being funny. It was a rant, though. It was a hell of a rant.
Yeah. Well, it could have been any number of things coming from Rappaport, but
Michael Rappaport, yeah. It might have been all of them.
Yeah. Including, I have to say this, I mean, on an otherwise impeccable program, the world's worst Florida Everglades accent on season 5 of Justified. Just saying, you know. But as far as when you get looking at when you get looking at this, I'd love to be going up to these Knicks fans right now, like, hey, congratulations! I hear this kid profiles. He profiles like Frank Nidalina. He could be the next guy.
Oh my goodness. The way Knicks fans used to talk about Frank, you would thought he was the second coming.
That's right.
Oh
That's right.
God.
I like to be there to be drumming up some PTSD with those folks right about now because they deserve it. It can only be said.
They probably think they got the next Ricky Rubio right now.
Of course, that's what they're thinking. Probably.
They're absolutely going crazy.
Yeah, well, I will say too that like something that I did not have on my 2020s bingo card was that Ricky Rubio would end up on my favorite team and how much I would love having him on my favorite team. I really didn't see that coming.
What a ride that was with him.
That was like I love this guy. I didn't see that coming.
Never in a million years would I have thought.
Yeah,
he would have been that.
Right.
And become so beloved in Cleveland. There are people who still feel like that about him.
Yes. And to a degree also, because it was somewhat of a similar dynamic, there's a lot of people that have the residual good feelings about Rajon Rondo to this day. And I really, especially at his age, I really didn't see that coming. But it was like, oh my God, I love this guy too.
And then it was so brief though.
Yes, it was.
That was the whole issue with that. It was so.
It was, but that's the joy of sports, though. These things will come out of nowhere.
Guys are here and then they're gone.
Yeah, and like
the George Niang phenomenon.
Well, yeah,
with
him, the minivan, yeah, and I will say too, my first reaction when the Cavs traded for Schroeder this year was like, he's going to go on a list, on that hilarious list of remember when this guy actually played for the Cavs?
the random list. Right there with Dwayne Wade and Derrick Rose and Channing Krause.
Yes.
And Taurean Prince, JaVale McGee. It's just like random Cavs.
Yes.
Damn, he was here.
And for as much
Isaiah Hartenstein is on that list.
Isaiah Hartenstein and a guy who one of my dear friends in this business, Russ Cohen, who grew up a Knicks fan, great proprietor of Sportsology. He doesn't ever like to hear me say this, but the guy that I hold ill will towards, who blatantly stole paychecks from the Cavs late in his career, Walt Frazier. He was like, Walt Frazier. He goes, yeah, he was like, oh, Walt Frazier was all smiles at the Eastern Conference Finals. I go, yeah, he was thinking back to when he stole paychecks from the Cavs. That's what he was thinking back towards. So, you got that. And I always lump him in with Keith Hernandez. Keith Hernandez was, he stole paychecks too. Remember that? He got caught dancing at a nightclub when he was on the injured reserve list for a back injury. So
he wasn't hurt.
No, he wasn't hurt at all. And that was a thing that was very, very unfortunate that he did that. But yeah, so apparently my TV has decided to go into sleep mode here because I haven't changed it in too many hours. So I must.
The Nuggets are currently on the clock.
The Nuggets are up.
And
Okay.
the pick is in.
Here we go. Okay, so thankfully I had the remote nearby.
The Nuggets have been on my league pass list for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean they're a fascinating
Joker
team
so
style wise.
I love watching Joker. Again, I love watching Jamal Murray. That's just a team that since the bubble, I took a license.
Yeah,
and
that's
Jamal Murray scoring 50 every other game. Like,
oh yeah, man, he was red hot then. And
so I'm gonna stick around and watch these guys.
Well, and I remember talking about this with you on Facebook over a period of time, Don, that just having Jokic run the offense the way that he does, it's such an anomaly style wise. It's just it's interesting. I always it's like the guys in wrestling that are interesting because they're different or whatever. There's good, different and bad different, but for the Nuggets, they make it work, but it's it almost feels like they should have Sweet Georgia Brown playing when he's there directing the offense and everything, because
he moves at the speed of slow.
Yes.
But nobody can stop anything that he's doing.
Yeah.
Also, we need to know there is the rumor that Valanciunas is going to sign overseas, so this could be CNAC here.
Oh, okay. Well, that that will be something that will definitely be affecting the depth there. So one wonders if that might potentially affect the pick here for Denver. I had him taking Corey in this spot, so that won't happen. Or actually, no, Don did rather. I had him taking Swain. That won't happen either. It's Terrace Reed Jr. So,
ooh, okay,
foreshadowing on your part, Ben. They take a center.
yeah.
So somebody in
The
there.
guys on my wish list are still around. For the
Yeah,
Cavs.
me too.
I mean, 6'11", 264 from St. Louis.
Mhm.
He's a very interesting prospect in terms of true shooting, effective field goal percentage.
Yeah.
Big
He could
boy.
be a very great rotational player.
Yeah. Yeah, he fits in well. And then again, Denver, high up on the list of one of these great player development systems in the league. I mean, just by dint of, again, the fact that they're multi-time MVP and now one of the greatest players of all time was taken during a Taco Bell commercial in the second round. So, you can't beat that with a stick, That's one of those things where it's like, oh, you think you're good at player development? Wait till you hear what we did. Yeah.
Watch this. We drafted our guy during the Taco Bell commercial.
Yeah. And it's one of those things, again, where when you look at, again, you go back to the early 2000s with Coach Pop down there in San Antonio, and there have been other teams in the league that have been like really, really strong at it. But yeah, the list has gotten bigger in recent years. Denver put themselves on that list. Miami, I think, has been pretty constantly on that list. Cleveland has gotten onto that list, but it's just, the fact that we're only about 1 or 2 years now into, every team in the league has a G League affiliate and whatever, and when it goes to, and I think you were talking about this before, Don, as far as with Cleveland and Miami, of trying to have the affiliate teams really try to mirror in every kind of way what, the big league teams are doing. And it's okay, that's great. But what's wrong with the rest of the teams in the league that they're not trying to do this? I mean,
yeah,
I don't get it.
Guess you got to be a dynasty for teams to actually copycat it. Cause when teams see the success, oh, this is what they're doing. All right, let's try that.
Yeah, but I don't get, and I guess teams are chasing the shiny object of the megastar to anchor their team and whatever. But when you're looking at what objectively would be a cheat code to kind of separate you from some of the other teams in the pack, there, the ability to build out your bench with depth on a real restricted budget, particularly in the era of the second apron. It's just it's happening more and more, and you're seeing sort of a piecemeal thing. Mike Gansey goes to Philadelphia from Cleveland. You see examples like this. Jordy Fernandez, going to Brooklyn a couple of years ago to be the coach. He had been in both Denver and in Cleveland. He had spent time in both of those systems and spent time as a really good offensive assistant to Mike Brown. So you see that, but that's where, they've been lagging behind other sports, I feel and they're catching up now. They're getting there. It's a work in progress, but that's a thing where, again, if you're a fan of a team like the Cavs, that's something that makes you happy, because it's well, the rest of the world should be doing some of the stuff they're doing. They're not, and let's just enjoy it while it lasts.
Yes, because on the Cavs roster, on last year's roster, well, I can't even say Craig Porter Jr. because I only think he played a handful of games.
Yeah,
with the Charge, he spent once he signed a 2-way deal, but he spent a lot of time with the Cavs because I believe Garland was hurt. But that's got Dean Wade. You got Dean Wade, who was with them when they were in camp. You got Sam Merrill. You have Naquan Tomlin. You have these guys.
You mentioned to me off air yesterday, Proctor. Proctor's going to be a guy.
Tyrese Proctor. He'll probably see a little more time down with the Charge too. Well, at least he should in my book.
Yeah. But I think particularly at a
Do
point
not
in time.
let him go to Boston. I'm sorry.
Oh, who are they
They
showing?
just keep focusing on Chris Sinek Jr.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that would not be good. But that's, I mean,
Also, I do want
You don't
to
shoot
break
threes
in
well enough for them,
briefly.
though.
I did just see this. So Terrace Reed is actually not going to Denver. He's going to San
Mhm.
Antonio
Yes.
oh, okay.
for
Who's the
a
trade?
couple of second-round picks.
See?
Denver's
Those
now
second-round picks.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
They traded up for the 35th and 2 future seconds.
okay. Well, I did say there could be teams that have a couple of second-round picks that would be looking to get up into this spot. I just was a little dubious they'd be able to make it happen. All right, Boston up with 20. Yeah, there it is. You spoke it into reality, Don.
No,
All right.
ESPN did first.
Yeah. Cenac Jr. to the Celtics. So
He don't
this
shoot
is
threes well enough to be there.
yeah. Well,
I wanted
unfortunately,
this guy.
yeah. Unfortunately, that will
He was
probably
on my
change.
list.
Well, the guy I want. We're only one away here. Minnesota could still play the spoiler, but the guy I got for the Cavs at 29, Joshua Jefferson. That's what I would like to see happen. So one pick away now with Minnesota, and again, like with Minnesota, feels like it's prison rules right now and who they're going to take, right? Like they got this upheaval going. Like who knows, like, I mean, did they get a big man to try to replace Randall? I mean, is that kind of the direction? I don't know. Like you would think maybe.
I really like this kid.
Yeah, it's and you know Cenac's going to become a better shooter going there. This is not.
I do. I really like this.
This is not good. That's where it good old Henry from North Carolina maybe to Minnesota. That I had him going. I had him going to the Cavs because I had Jefferson being off the board. But one wonders if that could be
another name we need to talk to, Rick, is Malik Thomas.
Okay, Malik Thomas. Okay. All right.
He's on my wish list too.
Yeah.
And I will say that, like, for a guy that I've sort of made a little bit of a punchline in the course of the draft here tonight, Koa Pete, like, if the Cavs take him at 29, I'm going to be here like they've earned the benefit of the doubt. Like they must think they can get something out of him because, like,
do y'all think there's something there with him?
I do, but like I just he's raw. That's the thing. Everybody was saying he should go back to school, and like in the era of NIL, like come on, man, he could have really made some good in school money.
After he had his issues at the combine, almost everyone was united in saying go back to school.
Everybody thought that, yeah.
And you can at least
so is there
be a lottery pick, be a top 20 guy, worst case scenario.
Yeah.
So is there a chance he don't get drafted tonight at all?
Oh, there's a very good chance. Yeah, he could easily drop to the. I mean, most mocks had him going. I mean, I had him going 22nd to Philly. Yeah. So you had him going 21 to Detroit. I mean, a lot of them had him going in that range. There were a number of mocks though, Don, that had him going in the teens. So
there's Kelvin Sampson.
There he is. So
Rick, a lot of the mocks I'm seeing right now is he's not going to be taking that next couple of picks.
Yeah, I mean, so this would be a mild surprise, I would say, if he doesn't go tonight. Because
also, I did want to know too, Minnesota's reportedly. Excuse me. This is the pick that's.
The Nets are the Nets are getting this pick.
The Brooklyn.
Okay.
Yeah. This pick will go to Brooklyn.
This, based on what they've done in the last 2 years, this could literally be anybody. This could, but I'm.
And they're going to play.
Joshua Jefferson was a guy that they did work out. So.
Well, I was gonna say I'm having a not very good feeling right now because I would think small forward might be one of the areas they might want to address. So I mean, I'm not feeling really great I mean, they got Porter, but I mean, is he really part of their future? I mean, I don't believe that he is. So
whoever they draft here is gonna play because how many picks what did they have last year? Was it last year or the year before? They had like 5 first round picks.
Yeah, they did. And like Well, and I said to Ben that, like, you know what they reminded me of was they reminded me of the Cavs, like, very early in their rebuild, of where they had, maybe as far as like a future big three, they probably had like one player at most.
Right.
But like 4 through 10, they were like really solid. But like that's not the part that matters. It's 1 through 3 that matters. But like, remember when they used to have, they had like a lot of depth, but there was just like nobody at the high end. And that's kind of like what
for
the Knicks
Brooklyn, I think the most logical pick for them would be Isaiah Evans.
I mean, on a selfish basis, I don't know like if that's something that I might like to see, because like I don't know, a lot of it would come down to like how well he could defend at the 3. Like if he could defend at the 3, then I could easily talk myself into the Cavs taking him. And with them taking Proctor last year, you know, they got their hooks into the Duke program. So, you know, if Brooklyn passes on him here and they got their choice between Evans and Jefferson, then they probably can't go wrong. But that,
my object that I'd be shocked if they don't take Evans here.
Yeah, he makes a lot of sense. I kind of agree with you. He makes a lot of sense. And yeah, I mean, I don't know how many players necessarily do. I'm trying to look to see like if there's anybody that I could see them taking that might be somewhat off the board a little bit here at this point.
I mean, I could see Pete, because we see Brooklyn has gone project guys before, so
they have
enamored with him.
They have. So
and
it's
again,
like,
and again, to note too, I know they just traded for Randall, but Vassar is not off the board either for them. So.
Right. So I mean, if they're gonna, now here's an interesting one. My sense is they're gonna go a little bit more upside than this, but if they're just looking for a puzzle piece, Alex Caravan.
Yeah,
I mean
that's up there too. Yeah,
crazier things have happened than that.
Well, we use this rule
at this point.
We're in the
at this point, the Brooklyn Nets could draft me.
Quote all the
how unpredictable they are.
Quote the legend on Red Zone. We are in the witching hour at this time.
Yes.
Yes, indeed, man.
The elite witching hour time.
Or as Mean Gene Okerlund would say, the shank of the evening right now. So could be. I mean, if they decide to go a little bit more raw, maybe like a Baba Miller, Keyshawn Hall. Potentially,
I would also,
Mitchell.
Yeah, Baba Miller. I would say though too, Rick. I have been hearing many rumors within the Memphis crew.
Okay.
And sources out there that they are really infatuated with him. So if
they
he
like
does not
him,
go and it gets to Memphis, he will be selected by the Memphis Grizzlies.
Okay. All right. Minnesota's selection for Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I'm actually
also Richie Saunders.
There's a wooden stake through my heart. Joshua Jefferson.
It happened.
Unfortunately, when it comes to speaking it into reality, or did I have him going? Or no, I had him dropping to the Cavs in my mock draft. Yeah. Okay, so I can't blame myself for this one, but and that's
also in the third row. Damn.
Okay, yeah.
He's sitting in the. Nah, he ain't sitting up there.
Come on, man.
Ain't no way he's sitting up there.
You couldn't even get him first row?
No.
He was sitting up there with the common people. Nah. Nah, he ain't. Ain't no way.
I'm always sympathetic to a nice maroon suit here, so I'm liking that with the black shirt and the black tie.
And I mean, Rick, we will say too in Minnesota, obviously after dealing Randall, they were looking for another potential forward off the bench on some level. So
well, this is going to be
a lot of sense.
This is going to be Brooklyn, though. Yes, I think Brooklyn's getting.
That's Brooklyn.
Yeah, so but he makes sense for them too. I mean, almost anybody makes sense for Brooklyn because you can't. And this, depending on how he plays, this may make Michael Porter Jr. expendable sooner rather than later. Yeah, because
get all his shots up in practice. Because if Porter is still there and Randall is still there,
yeah,
he ain't gonna get no shot. He better get all the jump shots.
I'll say I appreciate him too. Good, was really good at Iowa State. Good size, just coming out of college too. Because we see a lot of dudes coming out now that are very skinny. This dude is
like they're not eating.
Not even a question.
He's an NBA body.
He'll be ready. He has an NBA ready body right now.
Well, and this is one of these things too of where I would guess that this might be a team that you like more than some other teams, Don, because they strike me as being a team that is perhaps not as analytically inclined. For example, one of the reasons Jefferson dropped is I kind of think this is a dumb reason, is because of his age. Of like, oh, you can't take a guy that high if he's 24 or whatever. So it's like that's a big analytics thing.
Man.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like
a grown man. You want one of those on your team.
Yeah,
that was one of my issues with the Cavs for a long time.
Yeah.
Just seeing those guys out there with, it's like they ain't got their grown man body. It was actually it was a Philly game I went to.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago. And I'm looking at Garland and I'm looking at Mobley, I'm looking at Allen, and then on the other side, I'm looking at Embiid, I'm looking at Harden, I'm looking at Tobias Harris, and even Tyrese Maxey at the time. I say the difference is, these dudes got grown man bodies over here.
Right.
The Cavs look like they malnourished.
Yeah. And
that was the difference.
You can't have that. And
Isaac Okoro was like one of the ones who just seemed to, he was the only one who was physically looking big enough that was okay. Like he could be over there with them.
Yeah, and unfortunately with him, he couldn't hit water if he fell out of an effing boat. But he did have the body. But it's like, I get it that like if a guy is at an advanced age, relatively speaking, that like the ceiling may not be that great, but you're looking for guys that can be quality not lottery, but rotation contributors at this point here. And
also,
that's
one thing I do want to know too, Rick. He is still only 22 though. This is not
22 then. Okay. All right. Well, that was
24.
Even still for
misreported on my part. Yes.
They still look at it like that too.
Yeah.
He's old in terms of NBA draft timeline, but 20 is not old for a guy getting
drafted. It's better than 24. So I'm glad you cleared that one up. But yeah, so that's where, I think it would have been dumb to pass on him for those reasons. And this is where, all along I was figuring he might be a guy that might just elude the Cavs. The way that I did my mock draft, he ended up falling, but I still always figured it was less likely than not. And again, so with Evans, it becomes, and it's like, now I know the Cavs have got a bunch of guys like this, like shooting guard, but I think he could play small forward. I realize we got a bunch of those guys already, but it's like, what's
you gotta
one
be
more?
6'6" though. Gotta be 6'6".
Yeah.
Don't be that like us.
I will say, because I know the pick is in now for Cleveland. We're still in a commercial break for all that narrative. But another guy who was ratcheting up the draft board that they could potentially take would be Jack Cahill of Alba Berlin, who has made a meteoric rise recently. So he was potentially slot at the tail end of this draft, and it would not shock me if the Cavs, depending on their current salary cap situation, decides to take a guy they could draft and stash again.
Okay. I was talking about this with somebody off air today that like typically you don't see draft and stash even at the end of the first round. That's typically more second round.
Yeah.
But that would be, and again, for a team that's not going to have control of their ones for the next couple of years, it would be disappointing to see it come to that. But again, they've earned the benefit of the doubt when it comes to these moves here, and that they must have something else up
I
their
will
sleeve.
assume at this time, break.
All right, so check this out, y'all.
What do you got, Don?
This is breaking. I just opened up Twitter, and the Cavs is trading 29.
Really?
This is Shams reporting.
Okay.
They're trading 29 to Sacramento for number 34 in a future second rounder.
Okay.
And the Kings are interested in UConn's Alex Caravan at 20.
Oh, yeah. Or what I like to say,
they talked about them trading out of this pick.
Okay.
They talked about it all day.
That's Ron Adive at his finest.
Well, and it's one of these things where if that's the case, you wonder if they were zeroed in on Jefferson. And you wonder if they were just now, again, I hate to see him pass on Evans just because, it's a roll of the dice that you get somebody that can fill the 3 spot there and somebody that can, I think most people agree bring in a better degree of offense than most of the wings in this draft. But
I'm going to be very shocked, Rick, if Dallas has the last pick of the first round, if they don't make that pick right
now. Was Silver saying that Joshua Jefferson? Oh, that Jefferson he'd been traded to Brooklyn. Okay, so Caravan. The funny thing is, at one point in time, I actually mocked Caravan to the Cavs.
I think I might have too.
Yeah, but it's like
I think I might have.
To be honest with you, I kind of got to the point where it was like that's notwithstanding his offense, and that's something I almost never say because if somebody's a shooter, I almost never say notwithstanding his offense. But the way this team is built, they need somebody that can defend in the 3 spot. So it's like, we've got shooters already on this team. You can always use more, but I mean,
you never have enough shooters.
Yeah, well, you can never have enough shooters, but the notion of this guy being just another traffic cone when it comes to trying to stop guys, you know what I mean? That's what kind of scared me off. So I'm not going to bemoan that they didn't stay here and take him. I might be a little bit wistful that they didn't take Isaiah Evans. I don't think he lasts 5 more spots.
I don't think he lasts to 34 either.
It's like,
especially for Dallas is a team that really needs to build with a lot of their picks not available in the near future.
You know what?
This is another Michigan guy down here.
Well, yeah, who knows? But I will say, Don, and this is a syndrome that I actually really believe exists. Is that like if they were doing a second round immediately after the first round, I think Evans would have a much better chance of going to 34. But what it is you stop
somebody's gonna sleep on it.
But that's the thing. It's like, and then there's
the first one off the board tomorrow.
There's a day of the entire world talking about it. Yeah. You give the entire world 18 hours, however long, to yap about the guys that are left, and they don't fall. But in real time, would they fall? Some of them, sure. So this is where, the Cavs.
I would also be very surprised if he does fall to the second round, not the Knicks don't take him.
What spot do they have in the second?
The first pick.
Oh, they got the first. Oh my God, they could still get him. Oh, that's I am about to be physically ill. That even after they passed on CNAC, that they could still end up getting over somehow. But that is pick from Washington via Oklahoma City and Houston. Okay. So what stupid deal did the Knicks make with Washington that got them the first pick in the second round? I can't even remember.
I don't know.
But now I'm just bitter at the prospect that somebody's going to fall to them that shouldn't. So typical Nick luck. But this is all right. 30th pick, the Mr. Irrelevant of the first round.
Yeah, so this was acquired, Rick. Just so you know, that was acquired in the Washington deal based on the 2022 draft night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was for a future second rounder.
Okay. All right. Cole Pete to Dallas. I did see today. I saw today when there was rumors that Dallas might possibly stick with, because they had been looking at Burries potentially, that Dusty May had been very publicly complimentary of Burries and Pete from that Arizona matchup in the Final Four. So this shows there was some meat on the bones there, that he sees something in those guys.
And one of the big things too, like I mentioned too, Rick, is like they don't have a lot of draft capital coming up, so it makes a lot of sense to take a risk on Pete right now.
Yeah. I mean,
it's literally the last pick of the first round. It means nothing in this timeline.
Well, I mean, and you know what? I mean, I don't think it made sense probably tail end of the lottery or anywhere in there. I don't think it made sense for any of the teams in the 20s that are real contenders. But I mean, a guy at 30 who he needs work, but he's got, potentially a pretty good ceiling. This is where it makes sense. So they probably did the right thing. So All right, so
I don't think it's perfect, Rick, but I would use a narrative that is not the worst decision you can make for your final draft pick.
No, that's far from the worst
Agreed.
decision because, yeah, for not having a lot of draft capital in the years to come, getting a guy that you can really help develop in lieu of one of those picks would be something pretty strong. So a very, very interesting night one here, as we knew that it would be, and some curveballs along the way. Some of the guys who ended up rising up more than we thought they were going to, and that leads to some of the guys who are falling. Who again, you've still got Evans is probably the most prominent of them that slides into the second round here at this point, but Malik Thomas is another one that does as well. Visar from North Carolina. So I'll start with you, Don.
Cleveland trading back, they still have a handful of guys they could take.
Yeah, I mean they will probably get one of these guys that I just mentioned here, and there were guys like Visar that have been mocked at them at 29, so it may be that they get, exactly what they were hoping to get. So Don P, I'll start with you here. Any of your thoughts about the way that the night transpired?
I mean, like we knew after the first 4 picks, anything could happen. Any player could fall anywhere, and we got just that. That's the cool part and the fun part of these, and that's the fun part of making a mock. It's like, oh, let me see how many of these I can get.
Yep.
See who's gonna fall where. That's just the beauty of the draft. Like we think we know, but we really don't know until the picks actually.
Yeah, that's true. That's the way these things materialize. Ben, this is consecutive years that you and I have gone wire to wire on the first round here. Always easier with a third man in the booth, as we found out here tonight. So
all I know is I know Don P. He got the narrative. I don't need to even say anything about it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
But I also say too, this was a very interesting draft. We saw a lot of guys who were mocked high drop.
Yeah.
Drop.
And then there were more trades that we were expecting, but nothing really happened in terms of anything major tonight. So
no.
We know Jaylen Brown is in his own scenario. We know the Giannis deal went down, the Julius Randle deal got down. I still feel like there's a lot still to come. And it would not shock me if we see some trades during day 2 of the draft at some point.
I think we will as well. That will be something very much worth following. We are about to get to the great period of the year here, post July 1st, when you get to free agency. And again, a lot of it's kind of a kabuki dance as far as some of the players, who will probably end up staying put where they're at, but theoretically are at least free agents. It will be a very, very active trading period as well. Because everybody that didn't get Giannis is going to be reacting, trying to make other moves here among the contenders at least. Teams like Detroit that we were talking about before that still have demonstrable weaknesses in some area, in their case shooting. They'll be making moves possibly like the Tyler Hero acquisition. Them and if they get him to put with Duncan Robinson, they'll really be like heat north at that point. But that would be, which by the way, Don, is it just me or is Duncan Robinson not like the doppelganger of that Stewart guy from Big Bang Theory? I always think of that one.
He just looks like a guy who has no business being in the NBA.
True.
His face.
Yeah. But now that I'm seeing those,
he could walk down the street and nobody would stop him. He just
nondescript.
He would just blend.
He's incredibly nondescript. But now that I'm seeing these Stewart fails to save the world movie or TV series commercials, I'm thinking of Duncan Robinson every time. But so there will still be more to be transpiring in the NBA here, and then we start to get into summer league shortly thereafter. So over a period of time, Don P, I look for the opportunity to do more crossovers with you here, my man. So great to be able to have you in here doing this show with us tonight, and with Ben Chu, Mr. 12-0 in the NBA Finals, something that nobody else in sports media can say. 12-0 lifetime on the FDH Lounge. So
don't jinx me, Rick. You're good. I'm not getting to 13.
I think you just did.
I probably said a similar thing a year ago when it was 11-0 and you made it through. So. Yeah, there's no slowing down Ben Shu, but yeah, this was no matter who else, I'll just say this, no matter who else was doing any type of NBA draft broadcast, live stream, whatever tonight, you ain't gonna find a better one than this one was. So I thank the both of you
fun than us.
very much. Yes, it was awesome. I thank you both very much, and thank you everybody for checking out our 2026 Pro Hoops Night 1 Extravaganza on the FDH Lounge.